After another, a big-time ring ceremony, the lineups introduced, and you know what? Now we got some baseball ready to go. But before we come back and get you set up for the game, we're going to give you some images of past opening days here at Yankee Stadium. And that was Bernie Williams throwing out the first pitch here at Yankee Stadium yesterday at the Yankees welcome home dinner. He received the Pride of the Yankees award. Bernie with a big smile and a good way to start the 2010 home season. And a good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Yankee Stadium. Along with Al Leiter, I'm Michael Kay. It's the Yankees against the Angels, and that seems to be swallowed up by the pregame ceremonies. The Yankees got their 2009 rings, but to tell you the truth, now you move on. That puts last year to sleep. 2009 is over. The Yankees pick up their 27th championship, and they look for number 28. And they had a very good road trip. They were 4-2, 2-1 against the Red Sox, 2-1 against the Rays, and now they try to start up this homestand with Andy Pettitte on the mound.
And I'll tell you, he got a no decision up in Boston, and he just seems like Andy Pettitte of old. I mean, here's a guy, we'll actually look back at the LCS last year against the Angels. Here's a guy postseason, 18-game winner. It's so fitting today, Michael, that he's starting this opening day, getting the rings here against the Angels. Was dominant in the postseason last year, 4-0, 2 wins against the Phillies. I think what Andy Pettitte has proven as he gets older, how he's really evolved into a four-pitch pitcher is exciting to watch.
You know what? The postseason was great for him, Al. He clinched every single round of the playoffs. 4-0, 3.52, just 26 hits and 30 and two-third innings, 11 walks, and 25 strikeouts. He's a veteran. He knows how to pitch in big games. And Joe Girardi said this is a perfect guy to have on the mound with the pomp and circumstance of the home opener. Now, one of the nicest moments during the ring ceremony, Hideki Matsui got a rousing ovation. We'll take a look back at what Hideki did when he was here with the Yankees and also in the postseason. All of that coming up. Remember, that's segment 2, then first pitch after that. Prepared for the home opener here at Yankee Stadium, but you have to look back a little bit, Al. Hideki Matsui was so great in those 7 years with the Yankees, and he finished it off with an unbelievable postseason.
Yeah, it's so fitting. And I'll tell you, Michael, watching the ceremony and the ovation that he got, and then the embracing of all of his old teammates, it just says a lot about Matsui as a player and what an unbelievable World Series that he had last year, but also as a person.
Look at that World Series, Al. 8 hits and 13 at-bats, 3 home runs, 8 runs batted in, .615 batting average, and in Game 6 alone, he was 3 for 4, a double, a home run, and 6 ribbies, and he won the Most Valuable Player award. It all got capped off, though, obviously, at the ring ceremony. He got a rousing ovation from the sellout crowd and also from his former teammates. When we get back, lineups, first pitch, baseball, we turn to pace at 2010 next. Brought to you in part by Death at a Funeral. Die Laughing, Friday. Hager, established 1926. Your own great moment starts at Hager.com. And by Avis, the official rental car company of the New York Yankees. A sellout crowd here for the home opener at the new Yankee Stadium. Second home opener taking place here, obviously. Yankees have taken the field. Andy Pettitte's taking his warm-ups. He's actually just finished up. Let's take a look at today's Angels starting lineup presented by our good friends at Lexus. They haven't been hitting. Eric Ibar is a shortstop who'll lead off. Former Yankee Bobby Abreu in right field. Torrey Hunter at the center fielder about third. Another former Yankee DH, Hideki Matsui. Kendry Morales at first. Juan Rivera in left. Howie Kendricks, the second baseman. Jeff Mathis will bat eighth. He's going to catch. And batting ninth and playing third base is Brandon Wood. A little bit of a different look for the Angels without Sean Piggins and Vladimir Guerrero. Eric Ibar is ready. The veteran left-hander Andy Pettitte is ready. We're ready. You're ready. Let's do it. here in the Bronx as Pettit delivers, and we are underway with a strike.
Andy Pettit is one start up in Boston, very respectable, the 1.5 ERA. Nice outing, ended up getting a no decision. The Yankees won in extra innings.
Pitch outside to Ibar. Andy is fourth home opener. He's 3-0, and other ones that he started with a 3.0 ERA. There's a strike.
Let's take a look at this scouting report. It's only fitting. Andy Pettit, 13 different seasons with the Yankees. Only five other Yankees have done it. Whitey Ford, Red Ruffing, Ron Guidry, Lefty Gomez, Bob Sharkey. You got the idea. True champion, 5-time world champion.
That one is blooped. Short right field, and it's going to dunk in for a base hit. Nick Swisher runs the ball in, then we'll flip it into Teixeira. So Ibar with a leadoff single.
He clinched every postseason game last year, the only one to ever do it. And no signs of slowing down. We just showed his numbers up in Boston. I really like the way Andy, as any veteran pitcher at 37 years old, he used to be primarily fastball, cutter, occasional little changeup. He throws a lot of little first early count curveballs, changes speeds on his breaking ball. It's just him evolving as a pitcher. 192 lifetime wins. A true veteran in every sense of the word.
Here's Bobby Abreu. Now, the Angels are off to a slow start. They are 2-5 in their first 7 games. Kind of stumbled out of the gate. Their bullpen has not pitched well. Their starters have not done well, and their offense not clicking. So you don't have those components working, you're not going to win. And there's a strike.
They've been giving up a lot of long balls, Michael, and they have done so in the past. Anaheim, pretty good place to hit. But when you got a guy like Irvin Santana who's starting today, giving up a couple home runs, Joe Saunders, they have good arms. But I think there's an issue with there. And also, too, I think Sean Figgins, I see how Eric Ibar does, but I think Figgins is going to be sorely missed. Definite catalyst guy. He was signed as a free agent up with the Seattle Mariners, and this guy's got a void to fill, Ibar.
Well, they have the leadoff void to fill, Al, and then they have the third base void to fill with Brandon Wood. And Wood, who's batting ninth, is certainly struggling early going as well. So Mike Scioscia trying to integrate all these new faces into the lineup and into the Angel way of doing things. Scioscia, the longtime Angels manager, one of the most respected managers in the game. Many people feel he's the best manager in the game.
Well, you don't hate to pin it on a manager, but I think he does so many things kind of progressive and non-conventional, and really every year has his team right in it, postseason caliber.
The 0-1 came right in on Abreu in the count, 0-2. 13 seasons as a player, 2-time All-Star with the Dodgers. He's been the Angel manager since 2000, won a World Series in 2002, 5 division titles, and he's been the manager of the year twice, including last year when he navigated his team through the tragedy of losing the young pitcher Nick Adenhart in a car accident. The 0-2, 1-2.
Talking to some of the people who cover the Angels, they're talking about how this team, when you have an offense that's sputtering the way the Angels are, it just seems flat. You can see it with any team. If they're not scoring, you can find reasons why they're not winning. But normally, Scioscia is a guy that really prides his team on first to third, movement, a lot of hit and run.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. Abreu down on strikes. Let's take a look at the Yankees defense, which is brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, you've got Gardner, Granderson, and Swisher. That's left to right. In the infield, it's Alex Rodriguez, Derek Jeter, Robinson Cano, and Mark Teixeira. That's third to first. Posada behind the plate, and Andy Pettit is on the mound. See his numbers at home openers, 3-0, 3.00. Here's Torrey Hunter. Foul back. Last year, Torrey hit .299, 22 homers, and 90 runs batted in. One of the few Angels actually hitting early, .348, a home run, and 4 ribbies with a good on-base percentage.
I mean, you talk about a personality in the game. Torrey Hunter's it. He's a good guy, wins a lot of humanitarian philanthropic awards, and just has fun. Just talking to him before, he was thrilled to be part of, as a visiting player here at opening day, Yankee Stadium, and I think I've shared that with you, Michael. Not only is it special for the Yankee fans and these Yankee players, but even as a visiting team. There's opening day, and then there's Yankee Stadium opening day.
The 0-1. There's a strike. Hey, let's look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. Not the prettiest day here in the Bronx. 52 degrees. Humidity is 48%. Wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. And the forecast is for cloudy and possible showers as well.
Stay away.
You mean the rain, right?
Away, yeah.
I thought you were talking to me. Well. I was talking to Girardi about the possible rain today. He said, well, what else? He said, that's all we had last year. He said it worked out. If it wants to rain, let it rain.
Not opening day. It's a great ceremony. Everybody's all excited about the upcoming season and also seeing the ring up on the board there, the championship ring.
The 1-2. Fouled straight back here. They've turned the lights on here at Yankee Stadium because of the overcast skies. And the pitch upstairs.
Eric Ivor, in the minor leagues over 5 seasons, averaged over 30 stolen bases. Last year he had 14 in 137 games, and it's part of, he's got the speed. There's no question about it. And Scioscia and the Angels look forward to him running more. But what makes Andy Pettitte so tough? He's got the most pickoffs in the history of the game, 97. But he varies his leg kick and really upsets the timing of a runner. Runner just wants to be able to get a rhythm and a timing from the pitcher. Very difficult to run off of Andy Pettitte. And he's able to hang. This is what makes it unique and difficult. This is going to say, well, if you're left-handed, it's easy to throw over and pick somebody off. It all depends on your leg kick. You can't break the plane, the pitcher's rubber, so you have to pick up straight in line and then still be able to either throw over if you think he's going and be able to go home.
High fly ball, deep center. Going back, Granderson, still back. There's room. And to make the play right on the warning track for the second out. And that's going to bring up Matsui. Let's listen to the reception.
Now batting for the Angels, the designated hitter, number 55, Hideki Matsui.
Pettitte helped that ovation because he stepped off for the fans to show their love to Matsui because he could feel that it was building and he just stepped off the rubber and then Matsui stepped out and tipped his helmet. And the pitch. There's a strike. Matsui has always had an innate ability to rise to the occasion. The Yankees played a game at the Tokyo Dome. He hits a home run. His first game here at Yankee Stadium, he hits a grand slam. His first World Series last year, he was almost impossible to get out. So the big stage does not make this guy wilt. He's always been a clutch player. First with the Tokyo Giants and then the 7 years with the Yankees. Derek Jeter led the Yankee team to rush up to Matsui, and they all hugged him. And Derek Jeter said he's always been one of my favorite teammates. He said he always came ready to play, no excuses, and did what he had to do. Matsui in 56 postseason games, a .312 hitter with 10 home runs. And the 0-2 missed outside.
Well, I think about the Yankee way, and for the reception to be had, he's a nice guy all the way around, as you say, Michael, and you've been around the team long enough, and to have the team embrace him the way he did. You just mentioned Andy Pettitte stepping off the mound, allowing him to get the deserving ovation, and he's just a nice guy and professional, all the way around, even with the language barrier and lacking, some ability to communicate all the time.
Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. So Matsui strikes out, and Andy Pettitte works a scoreless first inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. Angels nothing. And the New York Yankees coming to bat. Urban Santana taking his warm-ups. And let's take a look now at today's Yankees starting lineup, which is presented by Lexus. The captain, the shortstop, Derek Jeter, leads off. Batting second and DHing is Nick Johnson. Mark Teixeira is the first baseman. He'll hit third. Cleaning up and playing third, Alex Rodriguez. Robinson Cano, the second baseman, will bat fifth. Batting sixth and catching, Jorge Posada. Curtis Granderson is in center field. He's going to bat seventh. Batting eighth and playing right field, Nick Swisher. And Brett Gardner is in left field. He will bat ninth.
And the 27-year-old right-hander Urban Santana. His first start, he got roughed up a little against Minnesota. Ended up going 6 innings, 4 runs, couple home runs. This is a guy that had a tremendous fastball, had some elbow issue, and hurt his arm. Dropped his velocity, very good slider. Let's take a look at the pitcher scatter report. Well, giving up the long ball last year. Only 139 innings, 24 home runs. That's not a good ratio. He leaves a lot of high fastballs. Get back to the old form in 08, 16-7 with a 3.49 ERA. I said about his elbow troubles. A nasty slider. Talking to Kevin Long, the hitting coach, he tried to get some fastballs early in the count, but he really has at times an unhittable slider. Last year in 09, Michael, 157 batting average against on his slider. Very impressive.
Here's Derek Jeter now. The Yankees were 4-2 on the road trip. Amazingly, they have yet to get a first-inning hit. They're 0 for 18 with just one walk by Mark Teixeira. And now they're 0 for 19 as Brandon Wood fields the Jeter ground ball. One away. Let's take a look at the Angels' defense, which is brought to you by Mercedes. In the outfield, you've got Rivera, Hunter, and Abreu. That's left to right. Interesting point, though. Teams have been running against these guys, taking a lot of liberties with the outfielders' arms, and they all historically have good arms. Wood, Ibar, Kendrick, and Morales third to first. Mathis behind the plate. Santana is on the mound. And there's a strike to Nick Johnson. It's pretty impressive when you consider the Yankees are 4-2. And Nick Johnson, their number 2 hitter, and Mark Teixeira, their number 3 hitter, are combined 6 for 46. That's 130. But they do have 12 walks between them, so they're getting on base.
Well, that says a lot, and especially in this day and age. But they're obviously not hit their stride yet. And Teixeira historically has had a slow start in his career in April. But they're getting on base, as you say, Michael.
Oh, that one's hit deep to right field. There it goes. See ya! Long home run into the bleachers for Nick Johnson. There's a first inning hit. There's a first inning run. There's a 1-0 Yankee lead.
Nick Johnson in his career takes a lot of pitches, and from that approach right there, talking about jumping on early fastballs against Santana, right down the middle, back leg, good swing, knew it right off the bat. Aggressive approach.
That's a Mark Teixeira, a strike.
Just getting his hips through. Boom. He knows it right there. I don't know, the Boston series, he was taking a lot of pitches. I know he sees a lot. likes to get deep in the count. But you get that fastball, especially again against a Santana who leaves elevated fastballs, and you don't want him to get to the off-speed stuff.
Now, they worked a lot with Nick Johnson, they being batting coach Kevin Long, about keeping your weight on your back leg so you can hit home runs here at Yankee Stadium. Nick has never really been a home run hitter, but this park is so conducive to a left-handed hitter. Nick Johnson could hit 25 home runs here, and he's not that sort of hitter.
Well, Kevin Long, I think, does a great job communicating, and also just really his whole fundamentals of hitting. And you're right. It's amazing. In a lot of sense, with players, you end up being who you are. And Kevin Long doesn't want to change Nick Johnson per se, but you almost forget, hey, you're a big guy. You have a chance to drive a ball. Take it. I remember John Olerud, having played with him, and he was a line drive, left center field, gap to gap guy. But once in a while, I know Cito Gaston, who managed there with Gene Tennyson, said, "You got an inner half fastball, especially early in the count. Let it fly."
And the 3-2, strike three. Teixeira down looking, so his struggles continue. IOTV offers you incredible HD picture and sound. HD is free with IOTV, the official HD service provider of Yankees baseball on Yes. Here's Alex Rodriguez. Pitch outside. Alex was like a kid that comes down the steps at Christmas today. He has been waiting for this ring his whole career. That was the one line on the resume that was missing. And he had a goofy grin when he was standing on the dugout steps waiting to be called to get the ring. And he talked about it with me in spring training. He said, "I'm going to wear this ring every single day this year. I don't care if people don't wear it. I want to wear it every day." Look at that smile. This is just about as he's about to get introduced. And like I said, like a goofy grin. He was so thrilled to finally get that ring.
Well, and a huge monkey off his back. Until as a Yankee, and we hear it often with Derek Jeter and guys that have been here a long time, it's about winning championships. You can have a great season, and it looks good and feels good when you go home and you look at your numbers, but here with this organization and what they've been able to accomplish, it's about winning, and it is about that ring. I don't care how much money you make. The ring still means so much to these players.
High fly ball. Right center. Torrey Hunter will make the play for the final out of the inning. But the Yankees finally get a first inning hit off the bat of Nick Johnson. 1-1 pitch. He just crushed it. Gave a souvenir out to the bleacher crease. What is the best part of the opening day ceremonies? You can text your vote to 58772. Standard text messaging rates apply. Is it the ring ceremony, raising of the championship banner, player introductions, or the ceremonial first pitch? Vote. We'll tell you how you voted a little bit later on. Here's Kendry Morales. And the backdoor breaking ball is a strike.
Morales struggling early on. What a year he had last year. The team MVP for the Angels, and they're struggling a little bit. They're off speed, a lot of slow stuff away, and he's been a little anxious as hitters get, especially middle of the order guys, when their team is struggling offensively a little.
He is definitely one of the Yankee killers, and these are some of the other guys that do some serious work against the Yankees. Kendrick, Napoli, Wood, and Kendry Morales. That one is looped into right field. It's a base hit. Sean Figgins used to always hurt the Yankees as well, but he is now with Seattle, as we mentioned. So a leadoff single for Kendry Morales. Both of the Angels singles probably couldn't break a pane of glass, but
blacken your eye?
No, couldn't blacken your eye. But there'll be line drives in the box score. Welcome to the cliche half inning. Here's another former Yankee, Juan Rivera.
Had a nice year. Career highs in home runs and RBIs last year.
There's a strike.
You were talking about the outfield defense being run on. They played the Twins and the A's. A couple more of the fleet-footed players playing for those respective teams. But, you know, Rivera's a guy, as you get older, you realize some of your deficiencies and you got to work on it. Came to spring training, lost 15 pounds. Hoping to get some more range in left field, which he's lost some, as any player does when they get older. Torrey Hunter winning another Gold Glove in center field. Certainly is nice news for Torrey's, thinking that he's got a left fielder that can cover more ground.
Grounded foul. Let's take a look at the umpires today. Hunter Wendelstedt is behind the plate. Dan Bellino is the first base ump. He's a new ump this year. Jerry Lane is the crew chief. He's at second. And Mike Winters is over at third.
There's a few new umpires. They have 3 or 4 that retired. Just saw Randy Marsh, longtime umpire, here at the stadium.
You know, Chuck Merriweather has been bothered by back problems, and he's not umpiring this year. The 1-2. Grounded slowly toward short. Jeter has one play. He makes it his first, as Morales will advance to second. Stay tuned during the 6th inning for a message from our friends at the Fox Business Network. Here's Howie Kendrick, one of those Yankee killers we told you about. Pitch upstairs, 1-0. So the Yankees lead 1-0 on Nick Johnson's home run.
You know, every team has their young phenom players, and Kendrick is that guy. And last year was a big rude awakening for him. After having been up in the big leagues, they sent him down. He was struggling, and after his recall, they sent him down for about a month or so, and came back, got a 351 the rest of the way.
Snap throw to second. Just getting back is Morales.
I'd like to see that from Jorge. Last year, much improved with throwing runners out. He's a little bit too aggressive of a secondary lead, but Morales, nice little pick by Robbie. He may have been out
if he held on. Yeah.
And that's important. That little aspect of what Posada just did there, that's going to shorten the secondary lead. Any hard base hit to the outfield will maybe mean the difference for the third base coach whether to wave him home or not.
3-0 is low, so he walks Kendrick. Runners on first and second with one out. Now, the last time Andy Pettitte threw a home opener for the Yankees was way back on April 8th of 2003, so it's been 7 years. And in that game, Pettitte won 5 2/3 innings, 3 runs, and he got the win in a 7-3 victory over the Twins. Andy had that 3-year sabbatical from the Yankees while he was with the Houston Astros. Helped the Astros to a World Series that year. They didn't win, but he got him in there. Here's Jeff Mathis. Popped up, right field. The runner at second goes all the way to third. Nick Swish is going to try to double him up. And he couldn't get the throw there. So a brain cramp by Morales. He thought there were 2 outs. And Dino Ebel, the third base coach, is hurriedly pointing towards second. He just forgot how many outs there were. And Nick Swisher could not make the right throw.
And Scioscia is hot, fuming. And this is the kind of game where he will mention it as to, you got to know how many outs there are. Certainly, see the third base coach hold him up. He's got to get back. Swisher makes a nice throw, just pulls Jeter off. That's a no-no in the major leagues. Look up and see how many outs there are anywhere, not only in major leagues.
And on a Scioscia team that's drilled in fundamentals, and Al said that's the sort of thing that's going to get him really hot, and he will address it right away. And you make mistakes like that, you won't play. And you won't be on the team that long if you keep making those mistakes.
Happened with Juan Rivera. He was kind of coasting. I think it was a double, and maybe could have stretched it out. He'd let him have it. This was last year. See Jeter's stretch. He knows he's got to play first baseman there.
I guess he did not see Morales going or being that far off the bag, and then he hurried his throw. You know, in a way, you can't blame Nick Swisher for not realizing that Morales was going. Why should Nick Swisher think that Morales was going to pull a rock? I mean, Morales played against type there. You know, there's 1 out, you can't run. So I think it took Nick Swisher by surprise.
Yeah, and that's where communication comes in. But it's part of the game. People are going to forget the outs. And Cano or Teixeira, I'm sure, was yelling to Nick. But you're right, it's an element of surprise. But he had plenty of time. You saw the timing aspect. He could have.
Going to get him out here. Fly ball to right. Wood is retired by Swisher, and that's going to do it for the Angels. No runs a hit, and 2 men left. Go to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Yankees. Sunday afternoon. Monday's a travel day for the Yankees, and they go to the West Coast, where they'll play 3 against the A's and 3 against these Angels in Anaheim. Here's Robinson Cano.
Nice start for Robinson. Just feeling that 5-hole, protecting Alex Rodriguez through a 362 home runs.
He's going to get so many opportunities to see the guys hitting before him. Jeter, Johnson, Teixeira, and A-Rod. There will be people on base. Had 48 doubles last year.
That pitch right there, Michael, you talk about a plan and approach, and Kevin Long, everybody in this organization, people follow the Yankees, know that he's got certainly the skill and the ability to hit the ball hard anywhere. It's a matter of him understanding the circumstance and the situation that's in front of him. Runners in scoring position last year, he wasn't as good. He was 207 batting average. And as Kevin Long, the hitting coach, says, it's about a plan and knowing what you're trying to accomplish.
That one's driven to center field deep. Going back, Hunter. Still back. It's over his head. And it rolls to the wall. We told you he had 48 doubles last year. There's a double right there to start off the second.
Kevin's got to be happy about that. At night, he got all fastballs. He got in a good count, 3-0, took the 3-0 heater, and another one right down Broadway. Nice swing. Didn't try to do a whole lot, pulling off the ball. It's his third double of the season. Hunter playing it off the wall. Great approach. We get Robinson Cano relaxed and really confident, and we just let his raw ability play out. It's going to be a fun year to watch him.
Here's Posada off to a good start. And that one is blocked by Mathis, but it kicks away, and Robinson Cano heads to third.
Well, there's a platoon situation. Mathis and Napoli. See, pulling out. How's that slider? Now, he's anticipating a slider from Santana. Early in the count, you want to get a strike if you're the pitcher. That ball, he just wasn't able to get his body. Now, you see it was a backdoor slider. That ball just yanked. Wasn't able to get in front of it. Not a good pitch.
Yankees have an RBI opportunity here. Pitch is inside. Posada has caught for the Yankees in 16 straight seasons. And what's significant about that? He's the first catcher to do that since Johnny Bench did it with the Cincinnati Reds. Usually catchers don't last 16 seasons, let alone with one team. And he walks Posada on 4 pitches.
It says a lot about where Santana is. And Posada, to your point, this winter down in Florida, he was riding 50 miles a day on his bike, and just recognizing that to maintain and stay a major leaguer, you got to stay in good shape, especially when you get in that late 30s.
Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, quickly out to talk with Santana. So Yankees have runners on first and third, bringing up Curtis Granderson now. Granderson had a good road trip. The Yankees had a good road trip. They were 4-2, but Granderson was 5 for 13 against right-handed pitching with 2 home runs, and against lefties he was 3 for 10, which is 300. Last year, so much concern about it because he had 183 against lefties. It's going to be baby steps, but he's trying to feel more comfortable. Now, this hit against Beckett was his first Yankee at bat. And then the other home run came against Papelbon in extra innings and gave the Yankees the win. There's a strike.
Always has been a good fastball hitter, as you just saw him turning on 2 of the better fastball pitchers in baseball, Papelbon and Beckett. Santana starts him off with a slider. Well, right now, Santana's struggling with his command overall, but if he's just going to be pumping 90, 91, 92 mile-an-hour heaters, it's going to be a short day for him. Got to be unpredictable. Off-speed pitches and fastball counts. Hit your spots.
Grounded foul.
Not easy, I know. It takes a lot to be effective and a quality starter in the major leagues. But the concern really for Santana has been, prior to him having his arm troubles a year ago, his velocity's down. Here's a guy that threw 95, 96 consistently.
1-2. Check swing. Now the Angels are not holding on Posada, so they have no respect for his speed at all. Now Kenji Morales is kind of hovering behind him, But when Santana really zeroes in on the catcher, Mathis, Morales starts to backpedal. So we have seen Posada really take off if they don't pay any attention to him. Count 3-2. Would they send him on 3-2?
I think the way Santana's throwing it, very unpredictable. You talk about high, hot, cold guy, and it could be a strike him out, throw him out situation. I wouldn't with nobody out. He's still in a sack fly situation or score a run.
Fouled away.
Granderson is a guy that's susceptible to the strikeout. It's another thing that Kevin Long's working with him is a better two-strike approach. Don't feel the way through your swing when you're down 2 strikes.
3-2. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did. Granderson was heading to first. Thought he had walked.
Mike Winters. No, that's all that counts. He's the third base umpire.
Looked like he went around.
Yeah. Is there ever a replay when you look at that it looks like they didn't go around?
It's very rare. You're right. I think they can say swing on everyone.
Well, the rule is the intent to swing.
Which is ridiculous because you always have the intent to swing.
As soon as you get in a batter's box, hopefully.
Here's Nick Swisher. That's like the rule with pitchers. You know? If you're trying to deceive the runner, it's a ball. Well, every time you're trying to deceive the runner.
Deceive the runner, deceive the hitter, anything.
One thing to point out, Posada was smart. He did not start jogging to second thinking that it was a walk. This would have been a double play then. He stayed anchored there and waited for the call at the third base umpire.
This is a nice two. So far, he's been throwing all 4 seams. Santana. Look at that run back. Greg Maddux made a career of that. Coming in on the front hip, get out of the way. Whoop. Looked like it had black. Close enough, I think, for home plate umpire Hunter Winstead.
Swing and a miss. So Santana 1 out away from getting out of a first and third, nobody out jammed.
Well, fastball, and then nasty slider. He's got a good one. Hitters get him defensive counts with Santana. He still has the ability to throw a late breaking, good biting slider. Right there to Swisher. Hard to lay off. And when you have the fastball slider combination that Santana has, it's difficult to lay off or hold off on a slider, especially when the hitter's in a 1-2-0-2 count.
Here's Brett Gardner. And a strike. So Santana seems to be going into another gear with runners on base. Gave up the home run in the first inning to Nick Johnson. That's where we are right now, 1-0. Bottom of the second. Another strike.
Yeah, another gear, not only with the runners on, but now velocity. That's the first 94-mile-an-hour fastball he's throwing. It's a protect mode for Gardner. See if he comes back with that slider as he did to Swisher.
In the dirt, blocked nicely by Mathis. Yankees open the season on the road now here at Yankee Stadium, and Yankee Stadium was very kind to them last year, including the postseason. They were 64-25 here at Yankee Stadium, so that is a home field advantage. 1-2. 2-2. The view from the Great Hall here at Yankee Stadium. That is a great hall. Fans just hanging out, watching the game on the big screen. The 2-2. Now Gardner, you don't think of him as as a big-time 300 hitter yet in his career, but he's a 324 hitter in his career with the runners on in scoring position.
Well, just watching this at bat, Michael, he got down 0-2, took a couple sliders, tough pitches just off the plate. That fastball there was off the plate. Your better hitters are comfortable in 2-strike counts.
Runner goes. Check swing. Did he go? Did he go? Yes, he did. And Gardner saying, well, why don't you check with the third base umpire? And Wendelstedt said, I don't need to. So Santana strikes out the side with runners on first and third and nobody out. Did he go around?
Sad for Matsui. I really, really loved him. Everybody loved him. It was kind of sad to see him in another uniform.
What was it feeling like out here, though? You guys were all screaming, I bet.
No. Yeah, it was a lot of tears.
You know, on Sunday when we were leaving Tampa, Nick Swisher said, I can't wait to get home and get back to the creatures. He was anxious to see you guys. How does he stack up as left fielders go, or right fielders go? You have a lot of fun with Nick?
He's the best. Down to earth, very nice, 100% happy to be here, you could tell. And we love him out here. He's just, I love him. He's down to earth. One of us.
You came over from Section 39, of course, the old Yankee Stadium. Give us a favorite opening day memory from the bleachers.
Wow. You know what? If I had to pick a favorite, I think it would be 1996, the snow. But my top favorite, waited so long to see him win, would be 1997. It was just emotional. And when they got the rings, and it was just great. It was just waited so long to see him.
Lots of emotions out here today. Lots of fun, too. Tina the Queen, thank you so much for joining us.
Welcome. You can come anytime you want. We love you out here.
I appreciate that, Tina. Thank you. Michael, same to you and Al.
Well, thank you so much, Kim. So the queen of the bleachers, the queen of yes, Tina and Kim. So we thank them for that little spot from out in the bleachers. And the day she was talking about the opening in '96, Andy was on the mound. It was a snowy day here. They were playing through the snowflakes. Strike 3, Ibar down looking. April 9th, 1996. Al, have you ever played in weather like that?
Yes.
You played in Toronto.
Well, Dome, but the Chicago a couple times. Boy, what a difference, huh? Nice the weather is. Oh.
Looks like a baseball on a snow globe.
That you expect October and postseason somewhere in Cleveland or Chicago.
Now, when you got to Toronto, Al, weren't they still in exhibition stadium?
They were, yes. I traded in. Well, it was traded in May, and then that was the last year of the old stadium. 89 May, and then June we moved into Skydome. You know, the bleacher crowd, I thought that was great with Kim Jones, and that is one aspect. Also, as a visiting player, you come in here, the hollering and the screaming, and they're so passionate, very unique. Each stadium has their own unique kind of flair about it. That's one of them. And I'm glad that they were able to move the bleacher creatures of what it meant to the old stadium to the new stadium. Guys enjoy the ragging and the passion, whether you're a visiting player and certainly the home team. But when they introduce all the players, I think it's a real neat experience. A roll call.
Did you get roll called out? Did you start a game the second time around for the Yankees?
Yeah, I don't know if they do the pitchers.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Well, you're so locked in and Springsteen's blaring. Although by then it was Tim McGraw, right?
But they don't. Oh, yeah. I think I had that one going for a while.
Yeah. Live like
sad.
Live like you're dying. That was your motto.
Yeah, it's good stuff. No, but I think the pitchers, most of the pitchers are locked in, Michael. But I suppose Boomer was the only one, or maybe Coney?
Yeah, Boomer would actually address them as Bobby Abreu strikes out. Well, Torrey Hunter's coming up, and let's take a look at the Home Depot hitter scouting report. Al, you put this together.
Well, he's good high fastball hitter. Gets a little bit swinging a little too hard, but he's always like that high fastball. First silver slugger, and the unique thing about this was that he only played in 119 games, hadn't been hurt, but 299, nice season for him, 22 home runs. And Golden Boy, 9 consecutive years of Gold Gloves. They figured out, Michael, and the Fangraphs.com, that over his career he's robbed 35 home runs of like going over the fence that would have been viewed as home runs. Very impressive. And a highlight reel. He's a lot of fun to watch.
And I really have never had daily dealings with him. He's supposed to be a really good guy.
Great guy. Great with the media and very affable, outgoing, very friendly. And philanthropic. He gives back. He's got a lot of different foundations that he contributes to. You know, it has fun. You know, there's an element. You know, this is business, and it's there's it's a lot at stake. But sometimes you got to remember it's baseball. And his smile and his openness it's a good thing. I view kind of similar to how Granderson is. Granderson very receptive to the media and big smile and enjoying himself.
2-1. Count 3-1. Fouled away.
That's the big swing right there, Michael. A little bit down, but Michael or Andy Pettit realizing 3-1 count, nobody on. You have the 2 outs. Challenge a guy.
Look at that guy over there behind Matsui's shoulder. Jacket and tie. That's the way they used to go to games all the time.
With
jacket and tie and hats. I like that. 3-2. Torrey Hunter walks. Hello with Al Leiter. I'm Michael Kane. You're watching Yankees baseball here on the Yes Network. It's the home opener here in the Bronx. And the Yankees are leading 1-0 on the first inning home run by Nick Johnson.
That's a beautiful shot. You talked about the stadium having a voice. There were some moments last year that this place came alive. And obviously now after the World Championship, winning it, and then the ring ceremony today. I think that is not a problem at all with this place and the pulse that it has.
Well, as Derek Jeter said that last game against the Orioles at the old place, he said, we can bring it across the street. They really seem like they have. The place looks like the old place and has that feel as well, and now it has a championship to go along with it. Matsui grounds it to Jeter, who steps on the bag, and that will do it. No runs, no hits, no errors, and one man left on base. We've played 2.5. Yankees are leading 1-0 here in the Bronx. .2010 census. It's not too late. Fill out, mail back your census form today. And by Jack Daniel's Tennessee Whiskey. Please drink responsibly. A lot of concessions being bought on a day like this, and you can buy the concessions here, and you can still see the stadium. You're not blocked out, so it's kind of a neat feature in this new ballpark as well. Derek Jeter will lead off. He grounded to third. That was in the first. And the pitch is high. Count 2-0.
Looking at the numbers across the board, Michael, Derek's had the most success of all the Yankee hitters. 435 coming in today against Santana, 2 home runs.
That one's driven out to deep right center. Giving chase, Torrey Hunter looking up. See ya! Home run, Derek Jeter. And the Yankees lead 2-0.
Well, 3 home runs now against Santana. Well, what do you say about a great player who just gets it done and has, you're talking about having a good time and just playing the game right, puts a good swing on a 2-0 fastball. It's a patented swing, that right center field approach. It's beautiful to watch.
Mom and Dad are loving it. Sister Charlie there as well. So Derek with his first home run of the year. Yankees with 2 solo shots lead 2-0. And in Al's scouting report, he told you that Santana's been giving up the long ball. In fact, all of the Angel pitchers have been giving up the long ball. Now, you don't go crazy over it because they were both solo shots, but you start to give them up with people on base, then they start to really hurt. Nick Johnson got the Yankees started with the long ball with a home run in the first inning with 1 out.
Yeah, but you know, Michael, you're right. Solo home runs generally don't beat you. But when you have a guy, he had 24 home runs, given up 139 innings. You as a hitter and a team and the hitting coach, you know that the guy gives up a lot of home runs. And because of careless mistakes. Good swing, Nick Johnson, letting it fly. You get in good counts, generally speaking, when a guy gives up a lot of fastball. It's a guy who's proud of his heater.
Check swing, did he go? No. Said Mike Mathis. Mike Winters, I'm sorry.
So how there? That's an example right there. Good at bat. Nick Johnson gets 0-2, has a good eye. Watch him hold up. This time he held up. Mike Winters making the right call. 8th walk of the year. As a 2-hole hitter, you'd like for him to be a little faster, be able to move to first or third on a base hit to right field or anywhere to the outfield. But I like the approach. Takes a lot of pitches. And give the big boppers and Teixeira and A-Rod and Cano a chance to drive it.
Mark Teixeira struggling through a rocky start. He did have 3 hits on Saturday, but he has not had a hit in any other game. And he gets one taken away right there. Morales throws to second for a 3-6 double play. Turned beautifully by Kendry Morales.
This is a hot smash. You see Morales just coming off the base, a one-hopper, tag the bag, making sure when you make that throw, it's on the inside part of the baseline so you don't cross up your shortstop. Now, ideally, if Nick Johnson would have been able to cut in on the inside part of the baseline, maybe it would have been a block out that throw. Good play all the way around.
Here's Alex Rodriguez. Buzzed him inside. 8 career starts against the Yankees. Santana 5-2 with a 5.21 ERA. High fly ball, right center. Hunter has room, and he puts it away for the final out of the third. Yankees 1 run on 1 hit. No errors, and because of the double play, nobody left. The 1 hit off the bat of Derek Jeter. It goes the other way. Fastball up and away into the Yankee bullpen. Parents like it, so do the Yankees 2-0. Quiz, and we'll get that after the pitch from Andy Pettit. And the pitch is a strike to Kendry Morales. Hideki Matsui tied a World Series record with 6 ribbies in Game 6 of the 09 World Series. Who did he tie?
Do you know?
Do I know? No, I don't. Do you know?
Yes.
Well, Paul O'Neill actually got a trivia question this weekend.
Because he was probably him.
No, it wasn't him.
No.
So that means that hot places do freeze over. Maybe you'll get this one.
Thanks, brother.
Swing and a miss. Andy looks sharp.
That's a beautiful pitch. Great setup. An effective change. Watch the changeup run away here. Morales tried to get him off speed. He's been struggling, stepping in the bucket. That's the effect. Watch him chase here. Now, Andy comes inside, hard cutter, good fastball. But this is what's opening up the plate for Andy Pettitte as he's evolved into, a little bit older guy and realizing that his velocity is not the same. Ball running away. Great changeup. Fastball, change, curve, slider. Nice little 89, getting the count. Rivera sizing him up. Now he can go in all different ways. He can stand him up again. He can use that changeup.
Count 1-1. Andy, when he first came up, was a fastball changeup pitcher. Then he developed the cutter, which became almost his exclusive pitch. And then I once asked him, I said, well, why can't you throw both? And he said, just because of the way you release the cutter. Tomahawks that, and a high fly ball to shallow left center. Granderson's there. And there's 2 outs. And he said that just the way you throw the cutter, your hand is on a different angle than it is on a changeup. It's difficult to master both of them at the same time.
I couldn't agree with him more, and I was the similar pitcher to Andy, but I couldn't evolve to being able to consistently throw that pitch that he just struck Kendry Morales out. It's exactly right. You curve, slider, cutter, fastball, you kind of you turn your hand in a little bit, cutting into the right hand. A changeup, you got to keep your thumb underneath, and you have to invert or pronate your hand. And they're really two different fields, completely. One almost a screwball effect, the two-seamer changeup where your hand is going out, and then the slider, cutter, fastball. There's a changeup. And it's difficult to maintain the consistency and have the effectiveness that's necessary to be a consistent winner. But I've seen him, last year, the 14-win season, he's really been able to do it more consistently. And in some cases, Michael, as you get older, it's out of necessity. Where you see, you're looking in, and he's looking into his catcher, and a great relationship with Posada, and you see different places that you can go to, as opposed to kind of that tunnel vision of, hey, I got a good fastball cutter, and I'm going to stay with it and live and die by it. It's beautiful. Big, slow curveball. Howie Kendrick is another very good fastball hitter. They've given him a big dose of breaking balls. He's got a nice grip, backdoor, throw it again.
2-2. Came in with the cutter then.
Yeah.
And he's angry with himself. 63 pitches for Andy, 37 strikes. Strike 3. Kendrick down looking. 6 strikeouts for Andy Pettitte. He retires the Angels in order for the first time today. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 2-0 Yankees on Yes. his Ashi out.
Well, he went right after him with the fastball, cut a little bit on the outside part of the plate, changeup, which offsets the eye set of Kendrick. You see the backdoor curveball, comes back with another one, doesn't get the barrel on. Now this sets him up with the fastball, moves his feet, and then he ends up dotting the outside corner with a beautiful fastball. The previous cutter set up that fastball away. After Kendrick moved his feet, then this pitch right here just locked him up.
And Cano rips one into right center field. Cano is 2 for 2 as Hunter gets the ball in quickly. Two 2-0 Yankees here in the bottom of the fourth inning. First of 81 regular season home games at the stadium. First game of a 3-game set against the Angels, and Texas Rangers follow the Angels in. Here's Jorge Posada, who walked in the second inning. One of the most moving moments, I thought, during the ring ceremony was when longtime trainer Gene Monahan, who's been with the team, the Major League team since 1973, was actually a bat boy in Fort Lauderdale for the Yankees during spring training in 1962. And he has been battling a serious ailment, battling it bravely. And he was not on the road with the Yankees, but he did receive his ring, and Jorge Posada orchestrated the whole team coming out and giving Gino a standing ovation, and Gino was visibly moved, and that was one of the most moving parts of the ring ceremony.
A beloved man, and not only just for the players in the training room and treatment and all that, he's just a fun guy to have around and a positive person.
Snap throw to first, and Cano is back.
Yeah, and Gino felt it too, and the fans gave him the well-deserved reception.
And there's Gino, he gets the ring. And this meant a lot for Gino to be here. And he is really loved by every member of the Yankee organization. You could see he was visibly moved by the outpouring of affection from the crowd as Cano goes, and a ground ball to Kendry Morales for the first out, and Cano goes to second. Morales is a slick fielding first baseman. Took a base hit away from Mark Teixeira, made a nice play there on the Posada ground ball.
Hot smash to his left, right down the line. A little one hopper. Quick.
So here's Granderson. Pitch outside.
They're talking about Michael, about Granderson coming over and filling the void for not only Matsui being gone, but Johnny Damon was a very good player here, and an important thing for any player, especially new players, to get off to a good start, as Granderson has. And it's just one of those, I can relax a little bit. You see what Cano's been doing early on. It's just nothing, no gremlins talking in your head. You can just let your ability play out.
Snap throw to second. Nice block there by Ibar.
Very important. Ibar, nice play, as you say, Michael. Again, Posada did the same thing. You get an aggressive runner who wants to get that secondary lead. That's important. Because a base hit to the outfield could mean the difference between a third base coach and Thompson to wave Cano. And the secondary lead is, that would be the normal lead, and then you take a couple steps out. And obviously on contact, ground ball base hit to the outfield, you have a shot of scoring. So to negate that, you have to pop him one down to second base. And to throw a guy out would be great. I mean, that's the end game, but it's really to keep that runner a little closer.
That one is lined to center field. Coming on is Torrey Hunter. He has to play the ball on a hop. Going to third is Cano. The throw to third is wide. So a base hit for Granderson, and the Yankees have runners on the corners with one out. This moment in Yankees history brought to you by Johnny Walker. Demand greatness in every sip and every season. Johnny Walker, proud sponsor of the New York Yankees. We go to April 13th of 39. Lou Gehrig homers twice in an exhibition game against the Dodgers. And these are the last homers that he would ever hit. April 13th, 1939. The Iron Horse, number 4. No one will ever wear that number again with the New York Yankees. Here's Swisher. Grounded foul. Now the Yankees have done something today, and I don't know if it's going to be there all year. And I think it's pretty cool, and I think it's also being a little intimidating for other teams. They have every single championship banner rimming the upper deck of the stadium. 1923, right through last year. 2009, which is the one on the main flagpole out in left center. But you look up there, Al, and there's another one and another one and another one. There's 27 of them in all, and no other team comes close.
Well, I think it's just a neat idea. I don't know about a 2010 player concerned about the 37 Yankees.
But don't you think, though, that if somebody strolls in here, even an opposing player, and they realize the history of this franchise?
You know what? Unless they fell out of a spaceship from Mars, they have to know about it. I mean, it's, and I said earlier on, when I got a chance twice as a visiting player to come in here for opening day. It's a special place. There's major league players, there's major league cities, and then there's the events that take place in different ballparks. So you got Wrigley, you got Dodger Stadium, I know you go, and Fenway, and the whole Tiger Stadium. But Yankee Stadium is above all of it. I'm not just saying that because I got the headset on. It's the way guys feel. Now, of course, you come in and you got the bravado of a team. We're going to beat these guys. But you look up. How many times you see young players come in and they would walk around and check out the monuments, and it's a special place.
Well, I remember one story, Al. The 1998 World Series, and the San Diego Padres came in, and you see how Nick Swisher gets out of the way of this. And they went almost as a team out to Monument Park, and they were staring there, and they're kind of in awe. And the Yankees, a couple of them came up and said, "We got them." They you could see that they're just in awe of the whole situation, and they ended up sweeping them in 4 games. Aura and Mystique appearing nightly. Runner goes. No throw. Swisher took it. And count 3-2, so a stolen base for Granderson.
I think Mathis thought that may have been a strike there.
4th stolen base of the year.
You still got to throw it.
For Granderson. I believe the Yankees are 9 of 11 in stolen bases so far this year. So now the Angels bring the infield in with runners on 2nd and 3rd. A ball squeaks through. It's 2 runs. And Nick Swisher works a walk to load the bases. Time to take a look at the answer to the New York State Smokers Quitline quiz answer. Hideki Matsui tied a World Series record with 6 ribbies in Game 6 of the 09 series. Now, who did he tie? Ali, have any idea?
No.
Okay, good job by you. Let's take a look. Bobby Richardson. The great Bobby Richardson. I think in that series, Bobby had 12 RBIs. And he won the MVP even though they lost. The infield is in with the bases loaded. And they're going to have the play at home. What a play by Ibar. Oh, my. They had the infield in, a hot shot off the bat of Gardner. Somehow he makes the play and then fires to Mathis to get the out at home.
All the way around. I initially thought this was caught in the air. No, one hop to his right. Nice play, Robbie, and then blocking the plate. Mathis, that could have been real dangerous had Robbie decided to barrel him over. Somewhat of a bad throw up the line slightly, but watch it. Got a little pinch. Great play behind him. Moving the runner, yeah, early in the game here, Michael. Bottom of the fourth says a lot about good play. Short hop, almost got blocked out by Cano. Right now, Scioscia, with the way the offense has been with his club and how well Andy Pettit's going.
Grounded off of Santana. The play at first, not in time. Granderson scores infield single for Jeter, and the Yankees lead 3-0.
Wow, just a hot smash. Derek going up, looked like hit him on the right thigh, and not in good position at all. He's square to the side. It's a reactionary thing anyway when a ball comes hit back to you so hard. Derek, of course, busting out of the batter's box.
Hey, let's go back to the previous maneuver by Scioscia, bring the infield in with the base load. Now, the only thing I can think of is that they simply don't think that they could double up Brett Gardner under any chance, so they wanted to get the out at home because they figured if they play the infield back and Gardner hits the ball on the ground, it's a run anyway.
Okay, true, but your best angle, because anytime you have an infield in, you're going to increase the batting average for most all the major league hitters of about 100 batting average points. So I think that could be in conjunction with, look, I don't think they're really feeling as offensively as good as they have in the past, and certainly so far struggling.
Well, I get that, Al. So when they had second and third, they brought the infield in. I understood what they did, but when they had the bases loaded, usually put the infield back for the double play, but they couldn't get the double play. They figured on Gardner.
Right.
So they took the chance of bringing the infield in.
Yes.
And they almost gave up a hit because of it.
Runs being at a premium. Unusual, and Scioscia, I think that was in his thinking. There's no doubt about it. It had to be a hot smash, although there may have been hard enough for Ibar to turn it. Gardner is too fast for most double play scenarios.
You're right, Al. You play the what-if game. If they're back at double play depth, that ball was hit so hard they probably could have turned a double play. But that's what speed does, and it makes managers think out of the box, and Scioscia certainly thought out of the box simply because it was Gardner at the plate. Foul back. So Santana has been flirting all day with disaster, and he's somewhat wiggled out of it to the point that his team's still in the game. But one bad pitch here, and the way Andy Pettit's pitching, the way the Yankee bullpen has been performing, and the Angels have been hitting, all of those things could be conspiring to give them a loss. So he knows this is an important batter. Mike Butcher, the pitching coach, looking on. 2-2. The traditional red, white, and blue bunting for big games and opening day. The 2-2. Fouled away. Yankees have the bases loaded. Swisher is at third, Gardner's at second, and Jeter is at first. An extra base hit would clear the base, especially with 2 outs. The 2-2. Nick Johnson cannot hold up. He goes around. Mathis steps on home plate to get the force, and that'll do it. But the Yankees score a run. They lead 3. We played 4. 3-0 Yanks.
With your Audi update, let's look at a couple guys off to hot starts in the majors. In the American League, Nelson Cruz of the Rangers, 5 homers in his first 7 games. And in the National League, Roy Halladay has won his first 2 starts for the Phillies, 9 strikeouts against the Nationals in his debut, and then a complete game, 8 strikeout effort against the Astros. People wondered how he'd do in the National League, Michael. I'd say he'll be okay.
I think he's going to do great. Thank you, Bob, and we'll hear from you a little bit later on. I love having Bob here at the stadium.
Oh, it's great.
Good to see him. He smells good today. It's unbelievable.
Looks good. Hey,
the Acela scoreboard, 3-0 Yankees over the Angels. Now, I'm going to tell you
Roy Halladay's going to win 25.
That's what I was just going to say. That one is lined into right field. It is a base hit off the bat of Mathis. Getting it in quickly is Gardner, so Mathis with a leadoff single here in the 5th. If you think about this, Al, and they had a great story in SI about Roy Halladay, and we mentioned one of the players earlier was sent down, Howie Kendrick. Roy Halladay was sent down to A-ball to reinvent himself, and Mel Queen, longtime Blue Jays pitching instructor, lowered his arm angle, whatever the case may be. He doesn't have to face the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Rays 18 times, because he usually faced them in every single series. And he still was one of the best pitchers in baseball. What's he going to do in the National League? I don't know if he'll
lose.
He might not lose.
He'll get 32, 34 starts. I agree with you. I think for the pitcher, every aspect of his approach and his size and his repertoire, I think he's going to win 25. I mean, he's probably looking on the scoreboard, and that offense is tremendous. I know it's an offensive park. He's looking up there at 4th, 5th inning saying, wow, 5 runs again. What do I do with it?
And every couple of innings, he's looking up and seeing the pitcher in the batter's box and say, wow, this is neat. No DH.
7, 8, 9, you're right. It's about 3/4 of a run, the differentiation between American League and National League, assuming it's the same exact pitcher, how you can navigate 7, 8, 9 to get to the pitcher.
The 2-1. Count 3-1. Brandon Wood is an important player for this Angels team. He's taking over for an important player, Sean Figgins. Wood has had the numbers in the minor leagues, big-time numbers, power, but he has never translated that in his short stints in the major league. Now, he has 7 home runs in the big leagues, and ironically, 3 of them have come against the Yankees, but he's got to come close to approximating what he's done down in the minors up here in the bigs, or the Angels are in trouble.
Well, they're giving it to him, and you said it. I mean, here's a guy in 2005, Sporting News Minor League Player of the Year. He was named the top prospect in 06 and 07 by Baseball America. Mickey Hatcher, the hitting coach for the Angels. And it's a matter, it's, I don't want to say sink or swim. It's not that desperate, but they're just saying, look, Brandon, this is yours. Figgins now is up in Seattle.
And Wood works a walk, so Andy Pettit in a little bit of trouble. 1st and 2nd with nobody out here in the 5th.
And part of that, too, is when you get a young, talented player as Wood is, that you want it so badly. And, I'm a believer in getting off to a good start and just allowing yourself to not think so much. And if you get the struggles early on, as he is now this year, 0-53 coming into today's game, it snowballs. There's no way around it. You have nothing to really go back to other than minor league numbers. Nobody cares about that.
Here's Eric Ibar. Yankees are up by 3. Yankees expecting a bunt. They don't get it. Breaking ball is a strike.
Well, they're not going to give Ibar a freebie. He's got that kind of speed. So Alex Rodriguez and Mark Teixeira, they got to respect the fact that you have a leadoff guy that can bunt. And it just really helps a hitter to increase the angle. Obviously, this is bunt depth here.
Comes inside with a cutter in the count 1-1.
3-0, obviously not insurmountable. It's a matter of getting it out right here. Andy Pettit thinking ground ball pitch, which generally speaking is a pitch that you try to crowd a hitter.
And the count 1-2.
And reason so, you want most hitters, even little guys, you're going to want extension away from you. Generally speaking, something even off speed away, you get a little fly ball if a guy's out front. But it's hard for hitters from the left-handed batter, right-handed, or left-handed pitcher, right-handed batter to really get inside the baseball and drive the pitch inside. Andy Pettit done a career with that.
Hits softly toward Alex Rodriguez. He gets the out at first. The runners move up. Time for another look at today's Toyota text poll. Once again, the question was, which is the best part of the opening day ceremonies? You can text your vote, and you have been at 58772, and here's how you voted.
It's got to be the rings.
Ring ceremony. Now, the raising of the championship banner, that's strange because I did not see that as part of the ceremony. I think they raised it yesterday. Player introductions, 18%, and the first pitch by Bernie Williams, just 6%. And there is the championship banner. How about this ring, huh? White gold.
Wow.
Balfour made the ring for the Yankees, and that's George Steinbrenner's ring right there. I like it.
White gold. Have they ever had a white gold ring?
I don't believe they have had a white gold ring. Not in the 4 previous World Series. Strike.
Now this right here, this is an opportunity. He's already struck out a Bray twice on slow breaking balls. Let's see the cat and mouse here. And this is a chance for Andy to get either an infield pop-up or somewhere inside the dirt here to keep that runner from scoring. Now he's set up. You set up a second and third with less than 2 outs. It's a sac fly situation. The hitter's thinking drive the ball to the outfield to get an RBI. The cat and mouse, the pitcher's, okay, where can I put it to where I can keep the ball in the infield? Now it's a different story. You're thinking strikeout. I mean, Brady's got a great eye and certainly a great hitter, 300 lifetime. Does he go to the well? Both previous at-bats struck him out on breaking balls. So he gets some kind of big, loopy curveball slider away. Sequence of signs.
Popped up. Andy Pettitte settling underneath it. Now here's Alex Rodriguez for the second out.
See the pitch by pitch here, little slider, perfect location. Then he jams him. That sets up the pitch. Actually, this ball right here, this is a hanger. Bobby Bray's feeling right. He leaked a little bit, got out in front of it, but that's a slider, middle belt high. That's a pitch that's not where you wanted it. He ended up getting a good result, but that's not an 0-2 pitch what you try to do. Andy trying to bury that ball down the way.
Andy's thrown 78 pitches. We're here in the 5th inning. He has a 3-0 lead, and here's Torrey Hunter. Second and third, now 2 outs. And Andy looks like he's going to work out of this jam. Jeter to first, and he does. Good job by Andy Pettitte. The Angels lead 2. We're halfway through. In part by J&R Music and Computer World, and by Ford, the official truck of the New York Yankees. Mark Teixeira takes a strike as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. Yankees lead 3-0. Good Houdini act by Andy Pettitte. The Acela scoreboard. 3-6-0 Yankees, 0-3-0 for the Angels. And Mark Teixeira grounds out again to Kendry Morales, and Mark is 0-for-3. Santana has to feel good about things because he has not pitched well. He has been in trouble all the time. The Yankees have left 5 runners on base. They've had opportunities to really break it open, and they haven't. And 3-0 is still eminently doable. Not a great ratio on the 81 pitches, 41 strikes, 40 balls, but he has escaped serious trouble.
That's a legitimate point, Michael. And anytime you give up solo home runs and you can work out of it, you're still obviously in it 3-0 here in the bottom of the 5th. And it's a settle down effect. And, Santana's a guy that, really, there's a void in the rotation, per se, because of the loss of John Lackey, who was really the #1 pitcher. They're looking to Santana. They're looking to Jared Weaver, who is now the anointed #1. Joe Saunders had a heck of a year, struggling so far in his 2 starts. I like their pitching.
You know what's interesting about their pitching, all the guys you just named, and this is, you talk to baseball people, they got a nice staff.
Yep.
But they have 5 #2s, or 5 #3s, whichever way you want. I'd say they're a couple of 2s, couple of 3s. They don't really have the ace unless Weaver steps up and says, "I'm the ace." Alex Rodriguez lines a single to center, his first hit of the day.
That's legitimate because you basically have it because of stuff-wise, and I think Santana is the guy stuff-wise that I like the best. That when he's on and healthy and velocity is where it should be. Jared Weaver is a nice pitcher. Throws in the short middle. They're various breaking balls. But, yeah, I would agree with that, Michael. I think there's a lot of guys. Saunders is a nice pitcher. But you don't say, wow. Joel Pinero's coming over again for the loss of Lackey. Scott Kazmir has been hurt off and on. Spring. Kind of taking him along slowly. I think their bullpen, too. I think what Brian Fuentes did, I like Fernando Rodney. Kevin Jepson, he's got closer arm.
Cano 2 for 2 today. He has multiple hits in 4 of his first 7 games. High fly ball, deep right. Abreu back. He's on the track. He has room, and he'll make the play. So Cano bidding for a 2-run home run. Just didn't get it, and they're 2 away.
Boy, I thought just looking at his swing, let's see if this got in a little bit. Man, you know what? He just got underneath it. That was a nice swing. Yeah, he kind of knew it himself. It's either going to be Mechanic-Corn, Abreu. About slight little wind going from right field to left field. Push that ball back in.
Here's Posada. Walked and grounded to first. Jorge's gotten off to a good start, hitting .333, has 2 home runs, 4 ribbies. Walked 6 times, on base percentage of .500. That's a good start to a season. And a strike.
Yeah, I said about Posada's winter, he really worked hard and bike riding 50 miles and just in really great shape.
How long does that take? Bike riding 50 miles a day?
Depends on how fast you go.
If you go 50 miles an hour, it's an hour. I get it, Al.
All right. A couple hours.
The 0-1. Look, it paid off right there with a single. So a base hit for Posada as Alex Rodriguez stops at second.
Well, when he had that shoulder strain in 08, Posada realized, hey, look, get a little older. You got to do a lot of things to maintain where you want to be, and that's greatness for Jorge. Last year he caught the 111 games. Molina's not here. Cervelli's a nice backup catcher. He's going to be counted upon to catch more than the 111 games, I believe. And it's a wear. It's a grind.
Here's Curtis Granderson. He's 1 for 2. There's a strike. You know, you see this lineup, and we see it every day, and sometimes you lose sight of it, but it just never stops coming at you. I mean, the guy who bats 8th in the lineup had 29 home runs last year, and a lot of big RBIs, and Gardner is a pesky number 9 hitter. It comes at you in waves. There's not a resting spot for a pitcher. We were joking about Halladay in the National League. 7, 8, 9 in the National League seems like a little landing spot. Where's the landing spot in this lineup, Al?
Well, I think you're gonna exploit Brett Gardner for him to prove it as an established guy. Certainly, you mentioned Swisher. His approach is better, I think, even as he's gotten older. Granderson, here's a guy who was a front end leadoff guy, and now here he sees him down in that 7, 8 spot. But that's been the Yankees, Michael, and they. You know, talk to Kevin Long, or if you talk to Jeter, and everybody's got their approach. But I believe, you know, players like Granderson comes over and Nick Swisher, you just evolve into the Yankee way. And having faced them for many years, Michael, it's about, it feels a selective thing. Even if you get them out, 1-2 count, grind it out, it's a battle. Take the pitch, you know, being balanced, you know, allowing the other guy behind you to drive you in. Don't do any favors and swing at pitches out of the zone. All easy, you know, it sounds good, but it's not easy to do. But it just seems like that process, and it's been for years. I mean, you know, O'Neill and Martinez, and you know, back from Don Mattingly, you know, it's just kind of past the baton.
Fly ball, shallow center, and Torrey Hunter puts it away. So again, Urban Santana works into and out of trouble. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 left. We've played 5, 3-0 Yankees. The 27-time world champions in action on Friday, April 13th. The Yankees take on the Rangers, and it's magnetic schedule night. April 16th, I'm sorry. All fans in attendance receive a 2010 magnetic schedule courtesy of AT&T. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com, visit the Yankee Stadium ticket window, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. Many great photos around the stadium, rimming the concourses. There's a strike to Hideki Matsui. Matsui is 0 for 2 so far today. Count 1-1. You know, Matsui, you look at his numbers, and he has obviously replaced Vladimir Guerrero in terms of the production. But an interesting story, we were talking to some Angel people today, and the fans and even the media sees what we see on the field, and we look at the numbers and say, well, that's it. If you could replace the numbers, you replace what he means. And that's not necessarily the case with Guerrero. We found out that Guerrero lived with his mom, and his mom would cook dinner for all the Latin players on the team, and it was a real comfort level for them to go to Guerrero's house, and his mom was going to take care of them and was going to cook food that they were used to having and that they enjoyed. And now that's been taken out of the comfort level for some of the young players on the Angels. So that's something that Matsui can't bring with him. Pitch outside. So that was an interesting point. Okay, Guerrero's skills are starting to erode, but were they eroding so much, he's with the Rangers now, that it was worth letting him get away?
Well, I think it was part financial, but also his injuries. But I'm thinking along the line, and there's no doubt about it, Ibar and Sturis and very different of the Latin players feel comforted. But I look at this Angel line, and it's a historically fundamentally sound club because of Socia and the Angel way and all through the minor leagues and very, very legit, solid club. But I think of it as a pitcher, and there are guys that you respect but not feared. And I think Vladimir Guerrero, even as he got older and he had rickety knees in his back, that he was a feared hitter. I think of like Gary Sheffield or big imposing guys in the middle lineup. Even if they make an out, you just feel, oof, I got him out. Kendrick Morales could eventually be that guy. They have nice players that really fit in, but not like a feared guy. Mm-hmm. And as you say, Michael, Matsui's been excellent for them early on. Nice player, but not where you bite your fingernails and worry in that way, if that makes any sense. And I think that void, it'll be interesting to see how the Angels play this year as to whether it's legitimate or not, and they contend with Seattle, and it looks like Texas is going to be right there.
Hot shot up the middle as Kendrick Morales picks up his second hit of the afternoon. So the Yankees are leading 3-0. Well, there's a shot of the Mohegan Sun Sports Bar, situated in center field in Yankee Stadium. The Mohegan Sun Sports Bar is a great place to gather and enjoy the game. Mohegan Sun, a world at play. Think they're having a good time out there?
Have you been out there?
No, I have not.
Blast.
Yeah. You and I should go to a game we're not working.
Let's do it.
All right. You treat?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Here's Juan Rivera. Have you sat in the legend seats yet?
No.
I did last year.
Wow, you're special.
You should go. You'd have a blast.
No, it looks great. And they have anybody and everybody that I know that have sat down there. It's been a great experience.
There's a high concentration of celebrities down there today. You got the great Paul Simon. You got Martha Stewart. You got Alec Baldwin. I saw Matt Lauer down there. There's Paul Simon. One of the best center stages ever. He was great. Great guy.
Great song.
There's Lauren Michael.
I'm talking about you can call me out there.
Oh, okay. That was about you, right?
Sure. In my mind.
Fouled away. Well, they play that all the time here at the stadium when you're broadcasting a game. I'm sure over the next couple of days we'll see it. Joe Piscopo.
Haven't seen him in a long time.
Mayor Bloomberg. No one's working.
It's opening day.
90 pitches for Pettit. Now, Al, your son Jack is here, right?
He is.
Now,
he had
I'm not a parent,
Look,
right?
he had a little sniffly thing. I didn't want anybody to... He's okay. He's okay.
Is it a tough call for a parent to let your kid play hooky that one day?
Not for me.
It wasn't a tough call.
I'm sorry. He's going to get all his homework and everything necessary. But what is it? 27 times. Last time that you can experience this as a Yankee fan here at this stadium was in 2001. So, in his lifetime, it's once in a lifetime. The experience of what transpired with the ceremony and the rings, and aside from just the pomp and circumstance of any opening day.
So you're saying that he got more out of today than he would have gotten out of one day in school. That's what you're saying?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
That's
Do you
fair.
have a problem with that?
No, I don't.
You're true officer?
No, I think I'm fine. I hope that his teacher's not watching the game.
Well, it's
strange that you keep a kid with sniffles out of school, but put him in an open-air ballpark. Who's with Jack right now?
He's with his little buddy, who also has the sniffles. Come on, you used to tell me all the time. You take the train down opening day from the Bronx.
I did. I'm just playing, Alan. Relax. Why are you so serious all of a sudden? The 2-2. Count 3-2.
It's a heck of a bat right here. Good battle for Pettit and Rivera. Found off some tough pitches. And this will be the 8th pitch of this at bat. This is as a game goes on, and now it's the 3rd at bat. Hitters will identify what they were out or what was hit. Savis getting ready.
Almost caught Morales sleeping, and now he thought that was a balk.
No, Mr. Morales, this is just a great move. He flips out. Now, that last little leg kick, Andy brings it up. He's level with the pitcher's rubber, but watch how quickly it goes down. And then the only argument could be you're allowed an imaginary 45 degrees.
Very close.
More of a shock surprise. Thinking he was going to throw over.
3-2. Grounded fair inside third and down the left field line. Gardner plays it off the wall. He's going to throw to second, and it keeps Rivera at first, who has to slide back ahead of the throw from Cano. So the Angels are set up first and third with one out. So a long battle with Juan Rivera, one that Rivera won. Now Dave Allen will go out and give Andy Pettit a little bit of a blow.
You said it, Michael. What an at bat. He tried to go the fastball away, up and in, just was able to stay inside it enough to keep it on the fair side of the third base.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the New York Yankees. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the aforementioned New York Yankees. Here's Howie Kendrick. And a strike.
Getting into the count here, Michael. Andy's thinking about a double play ball. Obviously, the infield double play depth. See if he continues to pound inside. It's a tough pitch for a hitter to get some extension and really drive the ball. The mindset behind a cutter coming in is to obviously jam the right-handed batter.
It's a nice pickup there by Posada.
Wow, he's setting up away here, and wow, 58-footer cutting in on the right hand.
Andy won 6 innings. His last time out against the Red Sox, gave up 1 run. He's at 97 pitches right now. Count 2-1. Now Savis is ready, so it's all a point of when Girardi wants to go to the bullpen.
Well, all right-handers on the bench. Sirius Turris is a switch hitter. Mathis coming on deck.
The 2-1. Count 3-1. Kendrick against the Yankees lifetime has 46 hits and 109 at bats. That's 422. They handled him in the ALCS last year, 4 for 14, but he did have a home run in those 4 hits. Let's see if they can turn 2. Grounder to Jeter. Over to Cano 1. On to first. It's a double play. A 6-4-3 double play with a nice scoop by Teixeira to end it off. So Andy Pettitte worked 6 scoreless. The Angels lead 1. We played 6. The Yankees 3. And the Angels nothing here on Yes. Time now for a message from our friends at the Fox. And all of that adds up to Yankees 3 and the Angels nothing as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. The ring ceremony here, the home opener. A lot of emotion when Gene Monahan, the trainer who has been ill, got his ring, and then Hideki Matsui got a rousing ovation from the crowd when he was the last one announced to get his ring out of the Angel dugout, and then the team crowded around him and gave him a group hug. Chan-Ho Park warming in the bullpen. Now, Nick Swisher had a little bit of a trick played on him during the ring ceremony. I don't know if you're aware of this, Al.
I wasn't.
No, the rings come in those beautiful mahogany boxes with glass on the top, so the players get this. First time they're seeing them. The only one that's really seen it is Joe Girardi on the staff. And they put a rusted old giveaway ring in Nick Swisher's box. So when he opened it up, he said, wow, this is what I've been waiting my whole life for, but then they gave him the real ring.
Who's they?
I think the whole team decided to play a little joke on Nick. I think the same thing was done to Hideki Matsui, where they put a kind of a rusted ring in there. 3-2. And Nick Swisher works a walk. So there's Girardi with Scioscia, and then he goes over to Matsui with the real ring. He had given him the old rusty one, so that was the real ring, and the Angels liked it. Torrey Hunter with a big smile.
You know, I wonder if Matsui even realized it when he got the box, that there was a rust one. They love that. Let's see it. What is it? He was mobbed by all the players. He didn't have a chance to take a look, I'm sure.
Here's Brett Gardner. Well, you can really see that there's a legitimate affection with the Yankee players toward Matsui. For them to do that, I mean, that was pretty special. They were all lined up between first and second. Then when Matsui got it, Derek Jeter kind of led the charge, and they all gave him a group hug. Jason Bolger warming in the bullpen. And it was nice of Jerry Hairston, who has an off day with the Padres, to fly here. Pat Burrell did that when he signed with the Tampa Bay Rays last year. They had an off day when the Phillies gave out the rings. He flew in and got a very big ovation.
Well, I know for the period of time with the Yankee players and Jeter leading the charge where they were winning, it seemed like every year. And then the drought from 2000 to now.
This is after he got the ring, and he doesn't know what's happening. And they're all there, headed toward him. And that's kind of the last time that he's going to be with that group of guys as a teammate. The 1-1. Slapped into left field. Giving chase is Rivera, and it's going to dunk foul. Just missed an extra base hit. Angels had to play beautifully, though. You can't guard against a foul ball, but if that was a fair ball, Rivera probably gets there.
Yeah, that's kind of, look, there's spray charts for every hitter, and just a couple feet. And Gardner, especially when you go into scouting report meetings, the teams are different how they approach it. Normally they'll have like the center fielder and middle infielders come in and know what the pitching staff's going to do. If you look at every hitter has its where he's hit, but you can see the left center approach for the center fielder and left fielder.
Check swing, did he go?
Yes. Hunter Wendelstedt
Yes,
called.
he did. Now that's a pet peeve, Al, of our colleague Paul O'Neill. He said when there's a check swing, if the umpire at home plate is doing his job, he can't look at the swing. He can only look at the pitch. And that's why they should always ask the base umpire. And that's the only time O'Neill would get upset. Well, he got upset a lot, but that was one of the times he got upset. He said because if you're watching the pitch, you can't watch the swing.
Well, how about also this? Because it's supposed to, it's convoluted, the description of the rule. But if you look, as Paul says, the home plate umpire is looking to see the pitch. Okay, he sees it's out in the dirt. Maybe he can pick up because he knows he's going to call it a ball. But the angle from behind home plate, you can't see whether it breaks the plane or not. That's the point of having the umpires on the line, because that's where the barrel will surpass home plate, or you see the breaking of the wrist. From being behind, it's difficult to see that. I agree with Paul. That's why you got guys on the line.
Look at the press box here at Yankee Stadium. It's jammed, not a seat to be had. We'll be reading about it tomorrow, a little bit later, on the web. Check swing. But a strike. Jeter's 2 for 3 today. Now, Nick Swisher's at first, and we told you about Nick being hoodwinked. I put a rusty old ring. And here, Mariano Rivera gives him the real one. Good time had by all. Swing and a miss. Jeter goes down on strikes. Seven strikeouts for Irvin Santana.
Talking about his nasty slider. Of those 7 strikeouts, Michael, all of them are on his slider.
There's a strike to Nick Johnson.
Well, he's got that 107. So Bolger is warming up. 107 pitches, 108 now. 105 in his first start against Minnesota, Irvin Santana. Teams are different. His last outing in spring training, he went up to 98 pitches. We are in a world of pitch counts. Baseball world.
The 1-1. And the count 2-1. Gene Monahan, his first game this year. So Swisher on first with 2 outs. Santana at 110. And the count 3-1. And this is what Nick Johnson does. That's why, despite great speed, he happens to be a very good number 2 hitter because he's going to work the count. 3-4 guys will have people on base. They'll also see the entire arsenal from the opposing pitcher. And he's worked the count full at 3-2.
Yeah, ideally, the only thing that you would say for 2-hole hitters, somebody who's got a little more speed. But I agree, Michael. If it's a guy who is comfortable with 2-strike approach, really uses the whole field, good situational hit and run guy, very valuable.
Runner goes, and he works a walk. That could be it for Santana, and it is, as Mike Scioscia quickly out of the dugout. So he squeezed as much as he could out of his right-hander. Yankees have runners on first and second, 2 outs. Scioscia to the bullpen. We go to a commercial. We'll be right back. Series against the Angels right here in the Bronx. Complete coverage starts at noon with batting practice today, presented by Audi and the Tri-State Ford pregame. Then Al and I are back with the call. It all starts tomorrow at noon. It's only on Yes. Oh, there's a phone there. It's time for this call to the bullpen, brought to you by AT&T, a better 3G experience. And that call brings in Jason Bulger. And he's going to face Mark Teixeira with runners on first and second and 2 outs. So Santana leaves after 5 2/3. And so far this season, Bulger, like most of the Angels bullpen, has struggled. 5 hits in 3 2/3 innings. They bloated 7.36 ERA.
Very good stuff, Michael. I know that it's early on in the ERA being high, but good power arm. Electric slider.
And a strike. Swing and a miss. Hey, by the way, Nick Johnson with that walk, he has now reached base 14 of 34 plate appearances. That's good for a .412 on base percentage, and just 4 of them hits. So when you take walks, even when you're slumping, you're going to help the team. When you're on base 40% of the time, you're helping the team. The 0-2.
You know, that's obviously, an important aspect of any batter. But, what it'll also do is when you've got a guy, and he's made a career of it, Nick Johnson, since Tana's line score, a couple home runs, you heard him, is you realize as a pitcher you have to come to a guy like that. When you have Teixeira, once Teixeira gets hot as he has in his career, you got A-Rod and Cano if he continues, you're going to come to a guy like Nick Johnson because he's not afraid to walk.
1-2 outside, 2-2. Teixeira in his career, .313 with runners in scoring position. He's 0 for 3 so far today. Hitting .111 in the early going. 2-2. Still 2-2. Swisher's at second, Nick Johnson at first. Two pitch, and that one gets away from Mathis, straight around home plate, and both runners will move up. Mathis didn't know where it was. Bulger finally retrieved it. Went straight up in the air. Mathis is turning around and doesn't know where.
Let's see how this ricochets. This is a slider that, well, look, he stayed in front of it, kept right in front of Teixeira. That's actually pushed it.
Now, base hit here could give the Yankees a 5-0 lead. (3-2), and he walked him. So 3 walks for the Yankees in this inning, and that's going to bring up Alex Rodriguez with the bases loaded. So you walk a guy who has been hitless in 6 of the 7 games the Yankees have played to face Alex Rodriguez.
Obviously, he didn't try to walk him with 2 outs. He's feeling comfortable with his breaking ball there. Alex Rodriguez has only 1 at bat against Bulger, and it's a home run.
Swisher, Johnson, and Teixeira, third to first. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Bottom of the 6th, Yankees up 3-0. Doing the breaking ball on the count 1-0. Now, Alex saw the way Teixeira got pitched. He's standing right there on deck, and he's expecting the same stuff. Great numbers with the bases loaded. 18 grand slams for Rodriguez and a .340 batting average. The 1-0. 2-0. Well, the scouting report we gave you early, the pitching for the Angels has been dreadful. Their starters have been bad. Their bullpen has been even worse. And that's how the Angels are built on historically. They're usually a very, very well-pitched sort of team. And Bulger here running into trouble. Walks the first batter, now 2-0 on the cleanup hitter. Grounded left side. Off the glove of Wood, everybody safe. Here comes Nick Johnson. Hustle play by Nick Johnson. 2-run score. RBI single. 2 RBI single for Alex Rodriguez. It's 5-0 Yankees.
Nick Johnson getting a good jump here. Secondary lead, obviously with 2 outs. Just perfectly placed for Alex Rodriguez and the Yankees. Brandon Wood not being able to smother it enough, and Johnson getting a great jump. Let's see if this has any kind of crazy little hop. I thought he was able to get to it. Anticipated the ball being higher than it was and snatched at it, didn't get it. Good insurance runs for the Yankees in the 6th inning here.
A lot of people look at Nick Johnson, and because of his build, they say he's slow. Well, he's not a speedster by any stretch of the imagination, but he's not slow at all. He happens to be a pretty decent base runner. And there's a strike, and that was heads up because the ball trickles up the infielder's glove, and he's going. You got to give Robbie Thompson, the third base coach, credit as well. Waving home Nick. And Nick scored without a throw.
Well, and he did the right thing. You said picking up Robbie Thompson. A base runner is not a traffic cop. You look at the coach, and he's going to determine as to whether to hold you up or not. You know, little things like that within the game. Good secondary lead, aggressive, saw the ball kick away from Wood. Pick up your third base coach. Thompson waving him in.
That one's looped in the shallow center. And Ibar puts it away, battling the sun, which has burned its way through the clouds. But the Yankees get 2 runs on just 1 hit, 3 walks, and 2 runners left. 6 in the books, 5-0 Yanks. Nothing. Now, Kimberly Jones is living dangerously. She was in the right field bleachers earlier on the Verizon wireless scoreboard. It's 5-0 Yankees, and now with the 5-0 lead, Kimberly Jones is in the left field bleachers, way out there. I guess right in front of Elston Howard's retired number 32. Kim, how's everything going?
Oh, it's fantastic. Little rowdy crowd out here, Michael.
I see that. So let me ask you, I know you spoke to most of the players before the game. What were they expecting from the ring ceremony and the opening day pomp and circumstance?
You know what, Michael? No matter what they were expecting, I think it probably exceeded expectations, and we'll hear about that on the post game. It was a remarkable ceremony, but the players were really funny, and you know this. Alex Rodriguez told you on Sunday he was going to wear his ring all year. CeCe Sabathia told me, well, I'll get my ring, but I'll stow it somewhere. I don't think I'm going to wear it. Jabba Chamberlain is giving his to his father, Harlan. Harlan will probably cry, Jabba said. And Nick Swisher is sending his home with his parents, but not giving his to his father. He says Dad can just keep it for safekeeping. So lots of great answers in terms of what guys do with these rings.
Hot shot on the bat of Mathis. Nice play by Alex Rodriguez. Chan-Ho Park is taken over on the mound for Andy Pettitte, so there's one away. Now, speaking of Andy Pettitte, Kim, you know, Joe Girardi had told me the other day, with everything that goes on with the home opener, he's the perfect guy to start this game, and it certainly worked out that way.
Absolutely, and Andy told me Sunday what an honor this would be for him. He wasn't sure how he would work out getting the ring and getting warmed up, but that obviously worked out, and it's been quite a 2 starts for Andy. You remember that tumble he took in Boston, Michael? Well, he went home to Houston the day after that. His 4-year-old could not wait to wake him up and show him the highlights of Andy tumbling over first base. So he averted a whiplash disaster in that one. He felt fine afterwards, and I think he's going to feel fine after this one, too.
Well, the people that are around you out there in the bleachers, I'm guessing they're feeling fine right now.
A lot of good feelings out here.
I bet. Well, I'm going to let you alone with your friends. I hope that you get back in the clubhouse before the postgame show.
Please don't let me alone, Michael.
Okay, Kim. Thanks.
Thank you.
That's Kimberly Jones out there with her buddies in the left field bleachers. As we mentioned, Chan-Ho Park, the new Yankee pitcher. Brandon Wood hits one the other way. Nice play by Nick Swisher, taking away an extra base hit. Covered a lot of ground and then a backhand stab for the second out.
Wow, what a all-out stretch. Tracks it all the way. Nice play. Better tumble. What it looked straight away, right field, pretty good distance. Once you got a track, just a matter of lining it up. Good play.
Two down, and here is Eric Ibar. He's 1 for 3. And there's a strike. Let's take a look at the IOTV HD Super Shot. And even makes the play on the Super Shot. And then the tumble. Tuck and roll right there. You do that in all the action movies. Line drive, a base hit to right field. Swisher circles and gets the ball in quickly, so Ibar with a 2-out single.
Tuck and roll? Is that what they say in a...
Tuck and roll, yeah, when you're in a car chase. No. When you
drop,
fall out
roll,
of a car. What are you talking? Drop, roll. Tuck and roll.
Stop, drop, and roll.
Oh, really?
Yeah, sure.
That's fire safety.
Yeah.
But tuck and roll like in, Fast and the Furious. Sure that Jack, when he's out of school sometimes, watches that on DVD. Here's Bobby Abreu. Pitch is low. Last time out, Chan-Ho Park was outstanding. That was Wednesday against the Red Sox. 3 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, and he ended up getting the win.
And Andy's start. 2 good starts out of the gate for Andy Pettitte. 6 innings up in Fenway. Now here's 6 scoreless. Couple spots today for Andy. Got in a little trouble in the 5th. Worked around it. Got a ground ball to Jeter by Torrey Hunter. And then the double play ball big in the 6th inning.
Count 2-1.
I think with Chan-Ho Park, along with Alfredo Aceves, is you have a guy that can do the 3 innings as he did in Boston and got the win. What he really brought to the Phillies when they put him in the pen, his velocity went up. Really haven't seen it as consistently this year in that mid-90s range. But the essence of a pitcher, he uses all of his pitches, Mike. You say, well, yeah, okay, you're supposed to, but he has an element to where I think he can also be used in that I'm not saying 8th inning, but 7th as he is today in a closer ball game is a complement of his repertoire that really is a good balance to the other guys in the pen. The starter mentality is different for a lot of reasons, but he's still able to maintain 4 pitches as a reliever, and you can effectively throw them for strikes and get hitters out. That's a good weapon. I think that's what Aceves does. Meaning the fastball, the curve, the slider, change.
There's Aceves.
Most relievers will eventually, and the pitcher coach will tell you, look, you can't really use your whole arsenal. Pick your 2 best pitches and stay with it, perfect it. I believe that Park and Aceves, who's done it very well, did an excellent job last year, can maintain that. And the more a pitcher can be unpredictable to the hitter, obviously much more difficult to hit.
Runner goes on 3-2 and is fouled away.
But Chan-Ho Park, when he came up with the Dodgers, no fastball was under 95 miles an hour. Big, hard fastball, big curveball, Brian Stokes. Getting ready for the Angels. He's developed a nice little 2-seamer running fastball, tighten up his fastball, curveball to a slider as he just threw there to Bobby Abreu in a 3-2 count.
3-2. Right back to Park. And that's going to do it as Park works a scoreless 7th inning. No runs a hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base at the end of 6 1/2. Time for the 7th inning stretch here at the stadium. Yankees lead 5-0, but we Sergeant Mary Kay Messenger. And you might remember Mary Kay Messenger because she sang God Bless America in Game 1 of the 2009 World Series, Yankees against the Phillies, right here in the Bronx. So Mary Kay Messenger will do the honors again as we honor America with God Bless America.
United States Army Sergeant First Class Mary Kay Messenger. In honor of the servicemen and women stationed around the globe, she will now perform God Bless America.
swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home
Yankees' key rivals. You look at the American League East, Jacoby Ellsbury day-to-day with bruised ribs. He collided with Adrian Beltre the other night. Brian Roberts on the 15-day DL with an abdominal strain. Aaron Hill of Toronto, same situation. DL'd with tightness in his right hamstring. And for the Angels, lefty Scott Kazmir could not make his first start of the season last week because of a shoulder strain. However, he is expected to make his first start this coming Thursday in the series finale here at Yankee Stadium. Michael, back to you.
Well, thank you, Bob. And as a matter of fact, the Yankees are the only team in the American League that does not have a player on the DL. The only team in the American League. There's two teams in the National League. And, you know, you want to get through spring training. You want to be healthy. And the Yankees certainly did that. And as Bob just noted, a lot of teams have some problems early on the Verizon Wireless scoreboard. We go to the bottom of the seventh inning. It's 5-0. Yankees lead. New pitcher for the Angels is Brian Stokes. And he's going to face Jorge Posada. First pitch, clubbed to center field. Late jump by Hunter. It's over his head and up against the wall. Hunt just seemed like he got fooled off the bat, and he was playing shallow, which is what he does in center field anyway, and he just had no chance.
You know what? I think it was more of him playing shallow. Let's see. Well, no, that's a regular center field depth. Let's take a look at his jump here. Yeah, he did. Michael, he took a step in. That ball jumped, as you said. That ball was down in the zone. Posada dropping the barrel of the bat. He just didn't get a good jump on that. Torrey Hunter, 9-time Gold Glover. I got to believe that a guy of his stature and his ability to defensively hit a better jump on that, he'd have had it.
With that double, now Posada moves into solo possession of 7th place on the Yankees all-time list. Angels got Brian Stokes from the Mets in the Gary Matthews Jr. deal. And they're paying most of Matthews Jr.'s salary. But the Mets gave them a pretty good pitcher to do that. That one's also clubbed to center. Again, Hunter back. Still back. This one he catches up with for the first out.
Well, he learned his lesson after the first shot. There is a brisk little breeze from right center pushing over to the left field line. I thought this ball was hit even harder than Posada's. He tracked it. He's got it in line. 9-time Gold Glover. Another reaction. Made a little more hang time on that one. Was able to catch up to it there. Nice play. I said earlier in the game they have different ways of charting hits and home runs, and Torrey Hunter in his career has robbed 35 home runs, potential home runs, based on balls that would have gone out.
Pitch outside.
You mentioned about Stokes. He walked a few too many guys. He had a whip of almost 1.6 last year with the Mets, Michael. The left-handed batter's 327. Right-handers are 280. That's lifetime. Last year, 330 left-handers. That's the pitch right there. You got a guy with a plus arm with a good breaking ball. You need something to negate going away, down, way off speed, or come up with a harder breaking ball. That's why a lot of right-handers came up with the cutter. Mariano happened to perfect it. Come in on the hands of the lefty. Because if a pitcher's not dotting that pitch right there, that outside corner, really, especially the left-handers, could look for something out over, and generally a right-handed breaking ball breaks into the power zone of a left-handed hitter down and in.
And we mentioned the double that Posada got is 345th. And he's now in 7th place on the Yankees all-time list. Joe DiMaggio is next. It's going to take a lot of doubles this year to catch up to Joe D. He's 44 more. He keeps going the way he's going, he might end up in the Hall of Fame. He is certainly compiling numbers that puts him in the discussion, especially from that position. How about Nick Swisher's day? 3 walks. Gardner is 0 for 3, 2 strikeouts.
I got to believe that that's the hardest part, especially for, Swisher always has a good eye. He continues to have a good eye. Like, you want to join the party and you want to be part of a hit parade, but still being patient enough to recognize, obviously, a walk is just as good as a hit. And it keeps the line moving. Yankees have 7 walks as a team today. Between him and Nick Johnson, there's 5. Teixeira has the other one, and Posada has a walk.
Count 2-2. And the count 3-2. We talked last week about Joe West, the crew chief, talking about long games. It's not because they're stepping out. It's long games because people don't throw strikes and the Yankees don't swing at balls. That's why Yankee games are longer than other games.
Could you imagine if Bernie Williams was still playing?
3-2. Foul away. Now, Bernie, though, stepped out. I mean, that was one of the reasons that he had slow at bats. But, I mean, you've got guys like Nick Swisher and Nick Johnson, the 2 Nicks on the team, and they're going to see 6-7 pitches in at bat. And a walk. So the Yankees have the bases loaded with one out here in the seventh. They're leading 5-0. Tomorrow's starting pitchers. Brought to you by Fios TV, Internet and Phone. This is Beyond Cable. This is Fios. Joel Pinheiro will go for the Angels. Didn't have a great first start, 0-1, 4.50. Javier Vasquez also struggled in his first start against the Rays, 0-1, 12.71. Our coverage is going to start at noon right here on Yes. With the BP show, 12:30 is the pregame, and 1:05 is the first pitch.
I know Javi struggled, and Yankee fans maybe have not paid attention a whole lot to Javier Vasquez, but I really like him. I look forward to tomorrow's game, and I'm sure he does, after not doing the job down in Tampa.
Bernie Williams got a huge ovation before the game. He threw out the first pitch, and he didn't loosen up, I don't think, because he bounced this baby. That's not good. Bernie, come on.
Wait, did you say you don't think he... I would say that would be affirmative. Good to see him.
Got the Pride of the Yankees award yesterday. The Yankee Welcome Home Dinner, gave a beautiful speech, and still hasn't announced his retirement. Last played in 2006, but he wants to keep his options open.
Did Ricky Henderson ever announce?
Yes.
He did?
Well, he got into the Hall of Fame, so he was out for 5 years. Even if you don't announce it, if you don't play for 5 years, you're going to get in. Jeter bangs into a 6-4-3 double play as Stokes gets out of trouble. For the Yankees, no runs a hit, no errors, and 2 men left. Let's take this baby to the 8th inning. 5-0 Bombers. To vote along with us for the Chevy Player of the Game. How do you do it? You can text your vote to 58772, or you can vote online at yesnetwork.com. Today's candidates are number 1, Andy Pettit, number 2, Nick Johnson, number 3, Derek Jeter, and number 4, Alex Rodriguez. Vote now, make your voice heard. Standard text messaging rates apply. Pete Stendel with some great shots walking around the ballpark today with his handheld camera. Outstanding shots by Pete. We call it Stendel vision. Randy Wynn, the new right fielder for the Yanks. There's strike. You know, Al, I never got your take on this, but Saturday, CC Sabathia pitching a no-hitter, 2 outs in the 8th inning. On his 111th pitch, he gives up a base hit to Kelly Shoppick. And then after the game, Joe Girardi volunteers. I was taking him out after that batter, no matter what. What do you think? Do you think he would have taken him out? Now, I asked Joe this again yesterday. He said, "What? I volunteered it. Why would I lie? Why do people think I'm lying about this?" I'm saying this season's too important for me to lose this guy for any extended period of time.
Can CC take Girardi?
Yeah, but not the whole staff. You got Mike Harkey. You throw him in.
Oh, yeah. Harkey will do some stuff.
It doesn't happen often, obviously. Some years there aren't any no-hitters, maybe one or two. It's that special. I would hope that the manager would see how special a moment it is, and you just cross your fingers that it's a 4-pitch inning in the night.
Yeah, but what if it's not? What if it takes him, all right, so he gets Shopping on the 111th pitch, right?
Right.
And then it takes 10 pitches to get the first guy out in the ninth. Now you're at 121. What do you do? Now he's 2 outs away. What are you going to do then?
I'm letting him go until he gives up a hit.
No matter what the pitch count is?
Yes.
It's the second start of the season.
Oh, you're right. I had 162 pitches in a cold, miserable day in April in 1989.
Right, and you were out for 3 years.
No, but that's
with a bad
162.
shoulder.
You got a guy that's a workhorse. He's given so many innings, postseason, can handle it. You're 3 outs away. I understand where Joe's coming from, but you're talking to a pitcher here, Michael. No-hitter special.
Torrey Hunter swings and misses. 1 away.
I'm glad that didn't happen, because that would have been interesting to watch that play out.
What I was curious about with Joe Girardi, and I asked him this yesterday, I said, why did you even tell anybody what you're thinking? He said, well, I knew they were going to ask me. I said, so if they asked you what you would have done, you said, I don't know, that's a decision I would have had to make then. I said, why start an argument? If he gets Shopping out and then you take Sabathia out, well, then you've got to talk about it.
Right.
But you made it a discussion. You didn't even have to. He said, I'm just trying to tell the truth. He said, but for people to think that I wouldn't take him out, he goes, of course I would take him out.
No,
Dave Island was adamant about it. He said, of course we had to take him out.
Well, we just saw with 111 pitches, Irvin Santana. He didn't have a no-hitter, but that was only in 5 2/3. Look, I know why Dave Island and Joe Girardi. And yes, you want to protect your arms. There's no doubt about it. And this guy's in the long haul. You're going to need him down not only this year, but years to come. I would still think that you're going to invent something. You figure something out to get through it. And there are times, during a game where you're actually getting big league hitters out without having to, give it your best fastball or snap your best curveball. Well, for the sake of CC and I guess for Girardi as well, I'm glad for that reason. I'm glad it didn't happen because he wouldn't have been allowed to throw it anyway.
I talked to Bobby Valentine yesterday, your former manager, and he said he actually took out Nolan Ryan out of a no-hitter after 7 innings because he'd only pitched 7 innings in spring training.
Okay. Now that's different.
And he said, and also Nolan Ryan had pitched no-hitters before. He said, so I knew this wasn't a once-in-a-lifetime thing. He said, I would not have taken Sabathia out. He actually said that.
Let me say this. I bet how that played out would be Bobby Valentine's going to Nolan Ryan.
Right.
And saying, what do you want to do, Mr. Ryan?
Well, he said it was prearranged before the game.
Well, what about a few years ago when Tony came back with the Yankees?
He went out, and that was the right move that Torrey made.
But it was his first start out.
Well, this is his second start.
I know. I'm still not. I'm not for it. I would have fought tooth and nail on that one.
Do you think Bobby went to Nolan and said, "Mr. Ryan has this"? Is that what
That's what I would have said.
Really? Grounded foul.
It's Nolan Ryan. Come on.
And, I brought that up to Dave Island, and he had a great line. He said, well, it's easy to say that you wouldn't take him out when you're not in the seat that would be affected if he got hurt. He said, so all the managers out there that said, well, yeah, I'd let him let him finish. He said, they're not the ones that have to suffer the consequences if he gets hurt. He said, the Yankees don't contend if CC Sabathia is hurt. That's your number one pitcher.
He had a 111th pitch when Kelly
Shopping hit the hit.
Okay. This is a tough battle right here. Chan Ho's just pounding the inside corner on Matsui.
2-2. Grounded. Warren Burner to second. 2 away. Well, after the final out, stick around for the WB Mason postgame as Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry will recap all the action from this home opener. And Kimberly Jones is going to get the players' reaction from the clubhouse. It's a must-watch. It's all coming up later on the WB Mason postgame only on Yes. There's Mike Harkey, Yankees bullpen coach, and that's how it looks from out there. See the scope of the stadium. Yankee pitching, that's Andy Pettitte and Chan-Ho Park, have not allowed the Angels an extra base hit today. There's a strike.
Good pitching all the way around up to this point. Certainly Andy Pettitte, 2 solid performances. Just had these Angel hitters off balance. Pitched around a few guys to get to the right matchups.
That one's driven deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. Solo home run by Kendry Morales. The Angels are on the board. Yankee lead is now 5-1. Shot into the second deck by Morales, who's had a good day. He has now 3 hits and 4 at-bats.
Coming into today, only 222 batting average. This was a cutter. It's supposed to be in on the hands. Morales getting the barrel of the ball. Second deck. Pulls his hands in. The ball just not in enough for Chan-Ho's liking. Back leg.
And the pitch to Juan Rivera is a strike. Let's check out that swing on the home run. Do it after this pitch, the 0-1. Foul back behind the plate. And here is the pitch in the Coors Light freeze cam. Freeze it. Right there, you know he's going to square it up. Unfreeze it. There you go.
A little too much in the middle there.
And the 0-2. Popped up. Posada gives it a look. Can't get there.
Really good. He had a little minefield of stuff. Weight and a couple bats. So you see the one weighted little white thing.
Yeah, he kicked it on the way back. He didn't like that one at all.
Yeah, that's
a playable ball. But you'll see he kicks that one very disgustingly.
There's a lot of stuff there, isn't there? I mean, the metal bat and seems a little excessive, doesn't it?
A lot of stuff, Al.
Yeah.
The 0-2. Grounded foul. Jabba Chamberlain. Taking some to the mitt in the bullpen. Miserable day at the beginning, but the sun has burned its way through the clouds. It's now a beautiful day here in the Bronx. Blue skies overhead. All is good in the world. Opening day at Yankee Stadium, home opener.
Beautiful.
The 0-2. You felt like playing today, didn't you, Al? Come on, admit it. You felt like throwing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I saw you. You were warming up. You wanted to play?
I always want to play. I just can't.
You were good for the Fordham Bulldogs.
Fordham Rams. And I didn't play for the Fordham Rams. I announced. Those who can announce. Bulldogs. The 1-2. Popped up. Teixeira. Wynn takes that. And he makes the play for the final out of the top of the 8th inning. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody.
Back in the first inning, his first home run of the year. Here with the Yankees, a Land Rover drive of the game. So far, 1 for 2 with 2 base on balls. Nick Johnson, the Land Rover drive of the game.
Well, Nick Johnson will lead off. The bottom of the 8th, it'll be Johnson, Teixeira, and Alex Rodriguez against Brian Stokes. Now, players choose their walk-up song, right? Derek
Like
Jeter's, right? Derek Jeter's is Jay-Z and Alicia Keys. Nick Johnson just walked up, and his walk-up song, as he lines one into right center field, and it gets past Hunter, and it will go to the wall. So Nick Johnson's had a good day. 2 for 3 with 2 walks. He's been on base 4 out of 5 times. Anyway, his walk-up song is performed by Miley Cyrus. Now, nothing wrong with Miley Cyrus, but if you're a teenage girl or something like that.
Yeah, it's a good song. Down in the zone, drops the barrel of the bat. Good swing, aggressive swings. Coming right out of the chute, we just showed the Land Rover drive of the game. It was the 4th pitch of the game. Driving the fastball. As good as Nick's eye is, he still has the ability when he gets his pitch, and as selective as he could be because of his plate recognition. He's going to hit some home runs this year.
Bobby Casava on for Brian Stokes. 4th pitcher used by Mike Scioscia. Santana started, then Bulger, Stokes, and Bobby Casava. Mark Teixeira, 0 for 3 with a walk. There's a strike.
Casava was a Rule 5 guy by the A's, but at the end of spring training, the club that drafts you, they have to return you, and you either accept it and take half the money back, and the Angels still liked him enough to bring him back.
The Yankees are on the bus from the airport. There's David Robertson warming up when they got back on Sunday night, and they announced that hitters would be hitting at 2. And then Mark Teixeira, being self-deprecating, said hitters and then me, because he has been struggling. Sunday was his 30th birthday. So a belated happy birthday to Mark Teixeira.
I was talking to Kevin Long about his slow starts. I said, what do you try to do anything differently? And here's a guy, you look at the back of his card, he's going to be right up there in the tops of categories as he always has been. I think, it's just a matter of him clearing his head. If it's in April that they win and he doesn't produce so much as hits, it's still a productive part of his game. Just jumping a little bit, dropping the backside, lunging a little. It's amazing as great a hitter as he is. Sometimes you get in a funk and you forget to do it.
And Mark Teixeira works a walk. So the Yankees have runners on 1st and 2nd. Still nobody out, and that's going to bring up Alex Rodriguez. That one's grounded foul. Rodriguez so far today is 2 for 4. Last time up, a 2-run single off the glove of Brandon Wood. That was in the 6th inning. Gave the Yankees some breathing room. They were 3-0. That made it 5-0. The 0-1. Pop foul. Now, today was all about the home opener, but it was made more special by the fact that the Yankees got their World Championship rings. And we've got one up here in the booth, and there Al's wearing it on his pinky. It's a beautiful ring. It's white gold, and the diamonds, and then a diamond around the interlocking NY, set over a blue stone. Just a gorgeous ring. The 0-2. Now, the one that you're wearing belongs to the COO of the Yankees, Montrose. You can't keep that. You know that.
Here, which one?
Now, which one is this? What year is that? That's 2000. Ooh. No, you don't want to wear that one. That's the one you lost, Al.
That's nice. White. Oh, that's different too. White gold. Is this the first time ever the white gold for the Yankees? Yeah, beautiful.
And the 0-2. A little bit low, 1 and 2. It says World Champions on one side of the ring. Then it has the name of the player on the other side. And it also says Unity. And the year. Beautiful ring. Swing and a miss. As Alex Rodriguez goes down. Look at it again. That's a gorgeous ring. Also, Al, I think the 2000 ring left a burn mark around your other finger.
Here, wait a minute. You remember Pet Detective? Fired on your forehead?
That's great. Everybody should wear it in good health.
Well, Alex is going to be wearing it everywhere he goes.
That's what he said. Every day this year he's going to wear it.
You know what's nice about it, too, and I know some of the clubs are getting so big and you can't wear them. Just, I know the Marlins 03 ring is just very large. Nice. Very classy. Wouldn't expect anything less.
And the 0-1 to Cano. Foul back. Cano 2 for 4 today with a double, a single to right center. Yankees would like some breathing room for the 9th inning. Job is ready.
Good at bat right here, Michael. Runner at second base. Robbie getting some tough pitches, fouling them off.
The 0-2. Just got a piece to stay alive.
It's a different, now granted, 5-1, 8th inning. A little different. Robbie Casava on the mound, Rule 5 guy. But the approach of what a pitcher tries to do when runners in scoring position, obviously a little bit different than when nobody's on. Nobody's on, you're establishing the strike zone, you want to exploit a hitter's weakness, get to it as soon as you can, but it's about getting into the account and the at-bat.
Grounded to first. Grabbed there by Morales. Goes to second one. That's all they get. You traveling this season? Take the Yankees with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Yankees game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Yankees.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. Job is waiting for the call. Posada today, 2 for 3 with a walk. And now he is 3 for 4. Lines that one into left center field, scoring easily is Nick Johnson, and Posada's going for 2, and he's in there. Now, we told you earlier, people are taking the extra base on the Angel outfielders, and for Posada to do it, Angel outfielders are sleeping, and he gets in there with a double.
Good hitting right here. Down and away. Doesn't try to do a whole lot. Just takes it where the pitcher's thrown. Now he picks it up. You see the little hesitation. The direction of the ball that was thrown from the left field, it was kind of hastily thrown to the shortstop, and Posada picked that up and realized that, hey, if he could pick it up, he's got a chance to get in there. That was a close play. Nice heads-up play.
So that's going to bring up Curtis Granderson, second and third with 2 outs. Yankees up 6-1. And the pitch inside. Curtis in his first game in a Yankee pinstripe uniform, first home game, regular season. 1 for 4 today with a run scored, a stolen base. And the pitch. Could not hold up. The count 1-1. So the Yankees are trying to go 5-2, and if the Angels don't come back, they're going to go 2-6 to open the season. And this is a perennial winner of the American League West. There's teams that have improved, the Rangers and the Seattle Mariners. There's a ground ball right side, through for a base hit, past the diving Kendrick. Scoring is Cano. Here comes Posada. Here's the play at the plate. And Posada is out. Good block at the plate by Mathis, but an RBI single for Granderson as the Yankees now lead 7-1. And Granderson has now driven in a run in 3 straight games. While the Yankees scored 2 more, they're up by 6. Angels get their last hacks next. All new Friday at 11, only on Yes. David Robertson will come on to try to get the final 3 outs for the Yankees as they want to make this a perfect home opener, get the rings, and get a win. He's appeared in 3 games so far. 2 strikeouts in 2 innings, allowed 3 hits. Also, clarification, Al, I know that you need to know this stuff. We mentioned that when Nick Johnson comes up, they play Miley Cyrus. The reason he does that is because his daughter, who's 4 years old, loves that song. So he wants to make her happy when Daddy comes to the plate.
That's nice. So she's here today.
Yes.
That's nice.
David Robertson deals to Kendrick, and there's a strike. 7-13-0 for the Yanks, 1-7-0 for the Angels. Oh, he was late on that, scattered some bodies in the Yankee dugout.
You saw the numbers on Robertson, and he's got good stuff, and I think he can continue to emerge as he knows himself. A guy who really has the plus fastball, great curveball, just understanding the nuance of his role and being a relief pitcher and getting comfortable with that.
Grounded left side. Backhanded by Jeter. The jump throw over to first, not in time. Kendrick with a base hit.
Again, you look at Channel Park, 2 innings. His last outing was 3 innings. Kind of between that, him and Aceves. Love David Robertson's arm, what he brings to the party.
Here's Jeff Mathis now against Robertson. Mathis 1 for 3 today. And a strike. The 0-1. Bunted. It is a beauty. It's a base hit. Hey, the Yankees are up by 6. You're going to give up that play. You're not going to play your infielders close. So Mathis, just wanting to get on base, picks up his second hit.
Well, as you say, you're down by 6. Anyway, you can just keep the line moving with Alex playing back, as he should. Mathis saw an opportunity. Turn the lineup over. Brandon Wood, who's been struggling early on in the season, old 48 batting average.
Buzzed him inside.
You know that with David Robertson, it's just there's certain guys where the ball just jumps out of his hand, and you see the registered velocity 92, 93. He'll pop some into the mid 90s, but it's how it comes out of his hand. There is a degree of deception there.
Sergio Mitre taking some to the mitt, just in case. And there's a strike. And the count 1-2.
See a little feeble hack from Brandon Wood. Anytime you got a guy struggling in many instances, you'd think Wood is looking for a fastball. You got a guy who can bring it up there with some good velocity and drops a curveball. This is why a guy is struggling. He's caught in between. Not sure fastball, curveball.
That one's driven out to right field. Giving chase is Randy Wynn on the run on the track. It's off the wall. And he gets a single out of it as the runners have to take it base to base. And the bases are loaded now with nobody out for the Angels.
Well, it's a curveball that's running down and away as it just continues to drift out of Randy Wynn's reach. Almost, let's see if it's about halfway up the wall. That ball kept carrying it. Nice little short hop right into Randy Wynn's glove.
Dave Island trying to settle down Robertson. And that seemed like more of a Stern talking to. There's some pitchers, I guess, that need to be scolded. Other ones need to be stroked.
Well, you know, Dave Island loves David Robertson, and he thinks he's got good stuff, and he can be kind of that middle go-to guy leading up to the 8th inning Mariano time. So, there's, hey, look, it's 7-1. Let's go. You got better stuff than that. Now you got to get your closer up in a game that what looked like it was out of hand.
Here's Eric Ibar. There's a strike. Were you a yell-at guy or a stroke guy? Did you respond to being yelled at?
I didn't like stroke because I knew if I stunk, I wanted you to tell me, and I not that he's getting chewed out because now the scenario plays out, his base is loaded. But no, you be stern with it. Wake a guy up. Hey, let's go.
The 0-1.
And the hey, let's go is really, making pitches and having that laser focus, the concentration that's necessary for a pitcher to make good pitches. And that's the bottom line. Sometimes you could kind of, lull yourself into appearances where, you're really not sharp and not in tune to every pitch.
The 0-2 to Ibar. Strike 3. Got him on a breaking ball of beauty, so Ibar down looking.
Well, there's this great lock curveball that Ibar just cannot pull the trigger, and that's when Robertson is really effective, he's got that nice glide fastball. Ibard looking for something hard, and it's really a knee buckling curveball, even from the left side.
There's Bobby Abreu. He's had a rough day here at the stadium. 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. A sweaty moment in the game came in the 5th inning when the Angels had runners on second and third with 1 out, and Abreu couldn't get him in. He popped up to Alex Rodriguez just to the left side of the pitcher's mound. That was a big at-bat in the game. In the 6th inning, there were runners on first and third with 1 out, and Howie Kendrick grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. So the Angels couldn't get the big hit today, and now they're trying with the bases loaded, 1 out, trying to get something going here in the 9th. The 0-1. That one's driven deep to right field. Going back, Wynn on the track, at the wall. See ya! A grand slam for Bobby Abreu. And the Angels have closed it to within 7-5. So they get the big hit. The only question is it a bit too late? So David Robertson comes in, infield single, bunt single, single to right, and then a grand slam off the bat of Bobby Abreu.
Well, before this swing, the Angels today were 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. Bobby Abreu got a fastball, middle of the plate, pretty much belt high. Pitch he certainly could drive. He liked it enough to deposit it into the right field seats.
Right now, this is a stall tactic, and you see Robertson watching that settle into the seats. Jorge Posada goes out and talk with Robertson, because right now you could bring in Mariano Rivera, and it's a save situation. So Mo talking with Mike Harkey, and Joe does make the signal for his closer. So Bobby Abreu with his 9th career grand slam hits one off Robertson. The Angels are still in it. Enter Sandman. Come on back. Tomorrow night at 7:30, it's only on Yes. So Dave Island talking things over there with David Robertson, trying to tell him what went wrong. And school was in session right there.
Well, outside of Howie Kendricks, I thought he had a nice piece of hitting to lead off the inning with the breaking ball going down away from him. He just missed with his command and allow the bottom of the order to let this game get back into the hands of Mariano. certainly not what Robertson tried to do.
There's Torrey Hunter, and Mo buzzes him inside. By the way, the Angel grand slam by Abreu, the first time an Angel player has hit a grand slam since Mark Teixeira did it against the Yankees and Edouard Ramirez in August of 2008. Edouard is now with the A's. Swing and a miss. And on deck is Hideki Matsui. Good numbers against Rivera. 3 for 9 for Torrey Hunter. The 2-1. Missed with the cutter, 3-1. You want drama?
Yeah.
Matsui against Rivera with the game on the line.
I was thinking how the inning was playing out, and if there are baseball gods, I think they're watching.
Count 3-2, but you kind of render that at bat a little less significant if you get Torrey Hunter here. Swing and a miss, he got him. Yankees 1 out away from a home opener win. And here is Hideki Matsui, the last hope to the Angels. The day started with a rousing ovation for Matsui when he received his World Series ring. But he has not had a good day at the plate, 0 for 4. And now it looks like he's going to be 0 for 5. Cano there, makes the play, and the Yankees win 7-5. A special day for the Yankees. They open their home portion of the schedule with a 7-5 victory. They get their 2009 World Series rings, and the great Mariano Rivera, the greatest closer in the history of baseball, nails down the save. The Yankees have won 12 of their last 13 home openers, and they are 71, 36, and 1 all time in home openers. And this is the Yankees' best start through 7 games since they were 6-1 in 2003. And as for Andy Pettitte, who got the win, his 4th home opener win with the Yankees, matching him with Red Ruffing for 2nd most with the Yankees, and Whitey Ford has the most, and he was here earlier helping to hand out the rings. He has 5 home opening wins. Hey, stick around for the postgame show to find out who today's Chevy Player of the Game is. So you definitely want to do that. 7-13-0, beating 5-11-0. And the Yankees got good pitching. Pettitte, Chan-Ho Park, David Robertson did struggle, and Mariano Rivera restored some order to the proceedings. In front of the Yankee dugout is our very own Kimberly Jones. She's with the captain of the Yankees, Derek Jeter.
That's right, Michael. I am. A win in the home opener on the day you get your rings, and your first home run of the season. I think it's fitting it came on this day. Do you?
I don't care when they come, really, but this is, it's a fun time. Come out here on opening day, and, the fans were into it, and you always want to win your home opener.
I want to ask you about before the game, Derek. Did you make a presentation upstairs in the suite?
Yeah, we got an opportunity to bring the ring up to the boss, and, it was a special moment because, none of us would be here if it wasn't for him. So we're happy to see him, and, it was a privilege to go up there.
You're always happy to see him happy, right?
Oh, yeah, no question, because I've been to his office when I've been in trouble, too.
How about before the game, when the first ring given to Gene Monahan, who means so much to this organization? How meaningful was that? You could tell to Gino, but also to you players to see him.
Well, yeah, we wanted to see him. Gino obviously is going through some issues right now, but he means a lot. He's been here longer than everybody here, and, it was great for us to see him, and he got a nice ovation.
We all wish him good health and a good recovery. Before I let you go, did you play a trick on Matsui? You were a busy guy before the game. There was a little ring trick, right? Tell us about it.
A bootleg ring, so we knew he wouldn't be able to compare it to anyone because he was on the other side. So, knowing Matsui, he was probably proud to get the bootleg one, too.
That's why the Angels were all laughing during the introductions?
Yeah, then we gave him the real one when we got on intros.
You're a funny guy, Derek. Thank you. Michael, back to you.
That's the captain, Derek Jeter, and thank you, Kimberly. So all in all for the Yankees, a splendid day as they win their home opener 7-5. They're off to a great start. They are 5-2. Yep, a lot of high fives, a lot of dancing. When we come back, we'll make sense of it all, and then the post-game show. Stick around right here.